For joining us today in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 Now on Flow College. I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Marlin Fitzwater Center of Communication at Franklin Pierce University, hosted by the Raven Sports Network, and I'll be on today's call. Joining me is John McKenna. John, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. We got rained out yesterday, but we have a doubleheader here today for Senior Day, and the sun seems to be going through the clouds, and I'm just excited for a big day of baseball.
Well, we have round two of trying to get this doubleheader underway with the Ravens of Franklin Pierce University hosting the Yellow Jackets of the American International College of the Yellow Jackets here at Pappas Field in Ridge, New Hampshire, where the Ravens will be taking on the Yellow Jackets of two high-powered offenses.
Yeah, two offenses that put up a lot of runs. Multiple instances for both of these teams where both teams will put up 20 runs against their opponent. Ravens coming off of a 20-run performance. AIC coming off of a 31-27 game. That's a score you see in a football game, not in a baseball game. So very excited to see what kind of offensive prowess we're going to see this afternoon between both of these games. It's going to be a tough ask for both pitchers.
Well, here at Pappas Field at Franklin Pierce University, where the Ravens call the Raven Dome, how important is it where the Ravens were able to go on this homestand here late on in the season and turn their season around?
Oh my God, I mean, it's just been absolutely incredible what they've been able to do at home this season. 13-1. You know, if you look into the first couple weeks of the season, the Ravens are really struggling there, Ryan. I mean, unable to really get into a flow, a lot of starting, a lot of stopping, unable to really consecutively win games. But ever since they've been playing home games here at Pappas Field, they've been absolutely fantastic. Dominance here in the Raven Dome, and they're looking to continue that stretch. But AIC really good at the plate, so it's going to be a tough ask to try to win both of these games here this afternoon.
Well, the Yellow Jackets are actually coming off of a two-game sweep in a season that has been off the schneid for them, and they're really on a long road trip right now, and they're very under 500 on the road this season. How important is it for them to bounce back this late in the season?
Oh, I mean, the confidence you could gain from being a team like the Ravens on the road is just immeasurable. I mean, you're a team that's teetering around 500, as you mentioned, right? Struggling on the road, but you're coming off some wins. Now you're playing a team that has so much confidence at home. Nearing the end of the season, it is Senior Day for the Ravens. The amount of confidence that the Yellow Jackets can gain if they can knock off a team like the Ravens at home, hand them their second and possibly their third loss of the season at home. I mean, going into the playoffs, it's really important to gain that confidence.
Well, the Ravens have won their 17th of their last 18 games here, John. And this late in the season, it's important. Those bats, and it really has come off the long ball. How important is it for them to really work small ball in this game against a team that can work them with the bats as well?
I mean, you know, baseball is a game of adjustments, right? I mean, once you see a pitcher, you see what they're giving you. You have to understand you can't just hit long balls to win every single game, right? And the Ravens can do it on all ends. I mean, you look at someone like Kiobel Lugo, a senior here. He has 15 home runs. He contributes with the long ball. He's also batting .282. So these Ravens really just do whatever it takes to win. They're very good at situational hitting. A lot of sac flies, a lot of bunts. They steal a lot of bases too. Both teams do, for that matter. The fact both teams steal a lot of bases. So the Ravens just do whatever it takes to get wins, and that's why they have a 13-1 record at home.
Well, we have Senior Day coming up here in Ridge, New Hampshire, and how important it is for Senior Day, we will see, and we'll step aside here in Ridge, New Hampshire. You're watching college baseball on NE10 Now on Flow College.
a special day here for the whole team, but especially the seniors here. Families come out to see these players who've given a lot to the program over the last 4 years. So it's just a really great tradition that they have here on Franklin Pierce University here in Ringe, New Hampshire. And Ravens looking to finish out their season strong at home, 13-1 as you mentioned earlier, and nothing sweeter than 2 wins on senior day, right, Ryan?
Well, as an athlete myself, playing football here at Franklin Pierce, I know having my senior day back in October, how emotional it can get on the field for the Ravens. And with being this late in the season, it's really important to maintain those emotions during the game and take care of business on the field.
Oh, of course. And something about this team that I find very interesting is the word professionals used in professional athletics, but this team has this professional aura about them. Talking to some of the guys on the team about the playoffs, the response I got a lot from a lot of the guys was, we still have regular season games to play, and they just want to win out, go out there and through however many innings they play, 7 or 9, put out the best performance on the field, and then worry about the game they play next. So just a professional attitude, and that just goes down from coaching and the culture they've created.
That's right, John. And we have the ceremony coming up. We'll step aside here on the Raven Sports Network, covering NE10 now on Flow College.
Alex Perez, number 26, Tim Crawl. And now your Franklin Pierce University Baseball Class of 2025. First up, a 2-year member of the Ravens who has played in 90 games. At the plate, he's tallied 89 runs, 95 hits, 26 home runs, and 94 RBIs. His 15 home runs so far this season put him 6th in the Franklin Pierce record books in career home runs and tied for 2nd in home runs in a season. A business management major from Boston, Massachusetts, was joined by Jerry Ortiz, David Guerrero, Jerry Scarrero, head coach Mike Chambers, Colin Bignar, Joel Lara, and Drew Golden. Give it up for number 2, Theo Lugo. Next up, a 4-year pitcher for the Ravens who's appeared in 49 games, tallying 7 wins and 65 strikeouts. Joined by his mother Patty, father John, a sports and recreation management major from Stoughton, Massachusetts. Give it up for number 4, Stephen Bang. Next up, in his first year with the Ravens, who has played in all 43 games this season, tallying 46 hits on 8 doubles, 4 triples, and 13 home runs with 49 RBIs and 43 runs. An MBA healthcare administration candidate from Deer Park, New York, being joined by his mother Lisa and brother Connor. Give it up for number 8, Shane Hewlett. Up next, a 2025 member of the Franklin Pierce baseball team, tallying 35 hits on 14 doubles and 7 home runs with 27 RBIs and 28 runs. A history major and sociology and business management minor from Boston, Massachusetts, joined by his mother Yvette, father Lorenzo, brothers Jordan, Armani, and Bree. Give it up for number 13, Anthony Marcano. Up next, a 2-year member of the team who has played in 3 games, tallying 1 run and 2 hits. Joined by his father Joe and mother Merle from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, majoring in finance and accounting. Give it up for number 18, Zach Mascaro. Up next, a 4-year member of the Franklin Pierce bullpen who has appeared in 40 games, recording 6 wins and 102 strikeouts. Joined by his mother Deanna and father Esteban, majoring in business management from Hamden, Connecticut, number 24, Trey Rivera. Next up, a 4-year member of the Ravens who has appeared in 10 games, striking out 6 batters. a sports and recreation management major from Foxborough, Massachusetts, joined by his mother Nancy and father Mike. Give it up for number 28, Sean Yost. And finally, a 2-year member of the Ravens, who has played in 33 games and has tallied 17 runs, 26 hits, 13 RBIs, and 2 home runs. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, majoring in communication, joined by number 9, Mike Kiros. Give it up for number 29, Elias Meredith. Ladies and gentlemen, a final round of applause for the class of 2025, our graduating seniors.
You can keep your flowers. I won't take them from you. You're good, take your time. Can we scoot together a little bit more? Nice and close together, guys. Perfect. All right. So everybody can see me. I can see you. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hold it one more time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you. Nice job, guys.
Prohibited and is grounds for removal from the premises. Thank you again for your cooperation.
We are back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball and NE10 now on Flow College here at Pappas Field, where the Ravens take on the Yellow Jackets of American International College here with John McKenna. I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick. It is senior day as festivities are starting to wrap up and we have a game underway.
Yeah, we just had the ceremony. It was a great ceremony here. Joseph McLaughlin on the PA did an absolutely bang-up job, as he always does. Friend of the network, on the network, actually.
Yeah.
And, we're getting set for what should be a very exciting game here, Ryan.
And before we went to break and going into the ceremony, John, you mentioned how professional this Ravens team has been throughout the entirety of the season. And being a team that started 10-15 on the season, now they're 27-16. That is just doing the prowess of what they've been doing all season and how professional and how they've gone about themselves, even being down that early.
Over baseball, it's such an interesting sport because even in the college level, when the season is shortened, you still play so many games, and sometimes it takes a while, to really mesh as a team, especially with new guys coming in, whether it be through transfers or freshman players, and they've really hit their stride here, Ryan. I mean, on all ends of the game as well. It's not like they're just hitting, or it's not like they're just pitching. I mean, they're really just clicking on all levels, and they're just taking advantage of the home crowd here at Franklin Pierce University, and just taking advantage of every home game they played.
Well, John, we have two offenses here that can really score runs. You have a team as the American International College Yellow Jackets that lead the league in batting average, but then you have the Ravens who lead the league in home runs.
Yeah, it's going to be maybe a battle of ideology here. I mean, what kind of baseball each team plays. I mean, we know the Ravens can dabble in small ball, but they love the long ball. They live or die by the long ball. When you look at a team like the Yellow Jackets, I mean, some of these batting averages are unreal, Ryan. I mean, you have the shortstop Ramirez batting 387, and then the catcher Guevara batting 355. I memean, so many of these batting averages start with a 3, and that's just going to be tough on Nicholas Pavia, who's starting for the Ravens here, entering with a 4.27 earned run average, and these are going to be some disciplined batters, right? Who are not going to swing a lot at balls in the dirt outside the zone, and they're going to make him work today, Ryan.
Yes, that's right. Nicholas Pavia on the mound for the Ravens, and O'Leary, the counterpart for the Yellow Jackets, and it's really going to be up to whatever pitcher doesn't break for this game because of how strong these offenses are.
And you know what's going to be really interesting, Ryan, as we inch closer to the first pitch, I mean, what these first 2 to 3 innings are going to look like, right? I mean, both these teams explode offensively. Will zeros be put up to set the tone early on, or will it kind of open up immediately with the bats? It's going to start with AIC. They're going to, as the road team, they're going to get up to the plate first, and it's going to be interesting to see how Pavia sets the tone here. AIC used to scoring a lot of runs, working a lot of counts. They hit a lot, so Pavia is going to really put an emphasis on getting off to a great start here, putting up a 0 and letting the Ravens step up to the plate with the game still knotted.
When we talk about the power the Ravens have, 2 of the top 5 home run hitters in the league belong to the Ravens. Obviously, you have Keo Lugo at number 1 with 14 home runs on the year. But then at number 4, you have Shane Hewitt, the new Raven this year, with 12 home runs. And then the American International student that is top 10 is Nick Searcy. He has 8 home runs on the season, sitting at number 10 with home run in the league lead.
Yeah, we just talked to someone from AIC and he gave us a really great rundown on all these players. And Cersei's someone, a left-handed bat with power, as you mentioned. And something really interesting that he mentioned is his splits aren't bad. He's not a platoon player, right? It's not like he hits well against right-handed pitching and they sit him against left-handed pitching. No matter who's on the mound, AIC has confidence in putting him at first base, giving him consistent at-bats, and that really says a lot, especially at the college level. A lot of times the coach really wants to platoon a player like him who bats from the left side of the plate, but he's so good, he has so much power that, whoever's on the mound, he's going to start that game.
Well, speaking of left-handed bats, this is a Ravens team that is a majority right-handers, and with the wind blowing out to right field today, it is whipping, John.
Yes.
These right-handed batters, they're known for pulling the ball over the fence. Could that be a struggle in this game?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of these guys can get pull happy at times, especially as a ball player. You want to pull the baseball, but going back to the professional aspect of this team, and they know this better than anyone, right? They know the wind conditions, and they probably know that they maybe want to hit the ball to the opposite field here, and they probably know that, they might have to play some small ball to get some wins here today, and they have a lot of confidence in Pavia on the mound too, and I think that whole lineup knows that he has their back, and they have confidence that he's not going to bleed up a lot of runs here against AIC, who's scored a lot of runs lately.
Now, you mentioned Nicholas Pavia on the mound for the Ravens, and going into this series, in this doubleheader, and you're playing a team like the Yellow Jackets who had a doubleheader where they scored 31 runs in Game 1 of their series against Assumption, do you have a different game plan of how you go about other games?
It's really hard to say no when you have something to score that weird in a baseball game. But I think the plan is going to stay the same for both teams here. I mean, the Ravens especially, they've had a lot of success. But AIC, they're just going to continue to keep that attitude they had in that 31-27 game. They probably know they're not going to win every game by scoring 31 runs, right?
Exactly.
But they're going to go with that same type of attitude because it provided a lot of success here. And I think they're more worried about keeping the Ravens at bay this afternoon, especially especially with O'Leary on the mound. I mean, they're more worried about how many runs you're going to give up right now, and that's where it's going to have to start. I mean, going back to what I said earlier, this first 2 innings I think are going to be really interesting and set the tone of what this game's going to be like. Because a lot of these games here at Pappas Field lately, a lot of runs being scored, not pitcher friendly lately.
No, not at all. We have high elevation here in Ridge, New Hampshire. The mountains are going crazy. And something else interesting to note, in that 31-run win against Assumption for the Yellow Jackets, they allowed 27 runs in that same game. So that pitching staff really just has to keep up.
Oh, I mean, they have to keep up. I mean, that's exactly what you said, Ryan. I mean, it's really rough when you give up that many runs, and even when you win a game, you don't want to give up 27 runs.
Exactly. It's very bittersweet. Yes, it was a record-breaking game, but there was definitely something to look out for. And starting lineups are getting underway, and the national anthem coming by, and we'll step aside here in Ridge, New Hampshire for College Baseball. Right now on Flo College. We are back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flo College. I'm Travis Patrick here with John McKenna as we get this game right underway. Nicholas Pavia on the mound for the Ravens.
Yep, and always a great thing to put that first zero up on the board, especially as the home team, and he's going to face Ramirez here to start this game off.
Pavia leading the team in strikeouts with 83 this season as he definitely goes by as the Ravens ace with the most electric stuff. First pitch underway as that one's taken outside for ball one. And start time just 4 minutes past scheduled start at 2:04 p.m. on a very windy day in Ridge, New Hampshire. The 1-0 pitch. Driven near the right center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Cut off by Quiros. He'll throw it in, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Yellow Jackets.
And not the base runner you want on if you're the Franklin Pierce University Ravens. Ramirez just got his 50th stolen base of his career. He's a threat to run. And someone told us right before the game, he always runs. So it's going to be an early test for the Ravens here and Pavia.
And here comes Kurt Boyd coming out of his catcher position, signaling to the infield. It looks like the Ravens are definitely well aware of what Ramirez can bring to the base paths. First pitch to Romero, runner goes. Throw down is not even close to in time as the ball rolls away, and Ramirez has his 26th stolen base of the season.
Yep, and just like the scouting report said there, Ryan, it was right on cue. After the first pitch is thrown after he's on first base, he steals second, and just like that, AIC with the runner in scoring position.
Still with nobody away as Formetta steps in. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. He deals. That one taken in there for a called strike that'll even the count.
And just the amount of pressure someone like Ramirez can put on a pitcher really is unbelievable, right? I mean, the game just started. You've only thrown probably 5 pitches, and there's already a runner at second base and nobody out.
The 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, Ryan, that's just a really nice pitch there. You know, Formetta didn't like it, but that did look like it caught the outside part of the plate.
Pavia with the fastball, slider, changeup. That slider caught the zone. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back, and Formetta will stay in the at-bat.
You know, this is a big out here, whether it comes to the strikeout or just being able to get this out without the runner advancing to third base.
Formetta with 29 RBIs on the season. Breaking ball doesn't break enough if it's taken high, and that'll even the count at 2.
Wind really picking up here. You see the dirt kind of swirling around the mound, around Pavetta. Pavia, excuse me.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled away once again, and a good at-bat being put on by Formetta. An early RBI situation as the pressure is on Pavia, still with nobody away here in this ballgame. The 2-2 pitch. Struck him out! Nicholas Pavia bounces back with a K.
That's a big out, Ryan. I mean, your confidence could be shaken up early after a leadoff single and then a stolen base, but he comes right back with the strikeout, and that's a really big first out.
And no advancement on the base pass. And the Yellow Jackets with less opportunity to score that run. Still with only 1 away. And that'll bring up Guevara. The runner goes. Breaking ball taken outside. Kurt Boyd doesn't throw over. And Ramirez tallies another stolen base.
Wow. Boyd just accepted his fate there. No throw down to third base.
Well, Ramirez definitely chose the right pitch to run on there, as he ran on the first pitch, and Pavia chose to throw. Don't know whose decision it was in particular, but they chose to throw a breaking ball on the first pitch, which definitely allowed a lot more time for Ramirez to steal that bag.
You know, base running so much more than just being fast, right? It's knowing what pitch is coming and knowing what pitch to run on.
The 2-0 pitch is lined to second base, caught by Lugo. He bobbles it. No advancement. He'll throw on to first in time, and that'll be 2 away. So a great job there by Keo Lugo, not able to secure the grab, but he saved it from going into the outfield and got the sure out, still holding Ramirez at third.
Yeah, and he just saved the run there. Even though he didn't catch that ball, it prevented Ramirez from coming home there. He gets the quick out, and now a chance for Pavia to get out of this inning without allowing a run.
Well, it'll go down as a ground out, but that one definitely a screamer off the bat. First pitch to Cersei is in there for a called strike here with 2 away.
Big left-handed power bat here with the wind blowing out to right field. You got to wonder if Pavia's going to be careful here.
The 0-1 pitch off the outside corner, and that'll even the count at 1.
At the top of this lineup here, Ryan, it's just so many batters that could hurt you in so many different ways. You know, great batting averages, a lot of power, but as it goes down past 5, it starts to even out.
Ground ball to short. Arias fields it cleanly. Fires over to first in time, and that will retire the side. So no runs on one hit, and Ramirez is stranded at third. We're heading to the bottom of the first here with no score. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball. And it's now on Flow College. We're in the bottom of the first inning after a scoreless flame. And on the mound is Vaughn O'Leary for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and O'Leary, just looking at it with a 6.57 ERA, he's looked to have a rough season. But a lot of these runs that he's given up have come late in games where AIC has really been up ahead by a lot and just keeping O'Leary on the bump to try to eat up some innings. So the earned run average not really entirely representative of how good he's been this season.
That's right. He's 2-2 on the season, but he also averages 6.57 Ks per 9. And he'll have a tough task to face with this Ravens lineup. And leading off for them is Joey Acker.
Yeah, just a real leader on this team, over the past couple years, a center fielder for the Ravens, and he's just been an absolute character for them.
Well, when your on-base percentage is over 500, it's definitely something to have a leadoff hitter have for the Ravens. His on-base percentage is sitting at 508. And we're late in the late stages of the season, so that's not inflated.
No, I mean, he's just kept up that pace this whole year.
Second pitch to him is taken on the outside corner, 0-2. So a great breaking ball seen there early on by O'Leary.
O'Leary tries to provide AIC length.
Dribbled on over to first. That'll stay fair. Fields it cleanly and steps on first, one away.
That's just unfortunate for Acker there. He's a check swing, just kind of hits his bat and dribbles and stays fair down the first base line. And it's a quick out for O'Leary.
And that'll bring up the left bat in Michael Quiros. Quiros batting .333 on the season with a .410 on-base percentage. The first pitch to him is taken in there for strike one. Nothing like a lefty-on-lefty situation early on in this game. The 1 pitch. Slider taken outside, and that'll even the count.
And you just have to think, both the pitcher and the batter changing their approach just at least a little bit here with the lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's always interesting to see what kind of pitches are thrown.
1-1. Outside and low once again. And Quiros ahead in the count, 2-1.
Quiros, one of the few left-handed bats in the lineup for the Ravens.
Check swing. That one's called a strike, and that'll even the count at 2.
Really nice pitch there, high in the zone. Quiros really wanted it and realized it wasn't in there, but wasn't able to hold up his swing.
Now, Quiros went into this season not knowing if he was going to start for the Ravens. As he dribbles that one over to first base, once again, running over to first in time. 2 gone now. So another great breaking ball by O'Leary, getting Quiros to roll over once again.
And one of the seniors, Keo Lugo, the second baseman, and he's just had an absolutely fantastic season, Ryan.
Lugo, who leads the league in home runs. So he fouls that one to the right side and out of play. Both pitchers looking to have
a scoreless first inning.
O'Leary sets. And he finds himself ahead of the count 0-2 after that foul ball.
And Lugo aggressive in this at bat, right off the bat, right, Ryan? I mean, just swinging at the first 2 pitches, fouling them both off. But on O'Leary's end, he's up 0-2 on the count.
The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. O'Leary sits the hot Ravens lineup down 1-2-3. And after no score, we're heading to the top of the second. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
Yellow Jackets 0, the Ravens 0.
Year on the scene. 20 racks don't feel like nothing to me. Keep on your skate to turn me to a beast. Invisible set diamonds hugging my piece. For me, for sure, I need 80 at least. I want the smoke, ain't no keeping the peace. Keep me a razor when I'm in the east. Open them up just like a turkey. Everything burning around me on lit. Showing the attitude.
We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. And we're heading into the top of the second inning, still with no score. And we talked about before this game, John, how impressive these lineups are on both sides, but both go scoreless in the first frame.
Yeah, and especially on the Ravens end there, Ryan, just like quick, nothing happening in that first inning. And Lugo going down on 3 pitches there for the strikeout. So a really impressive start for O'Leary. But on the other end, Pavia had some trouble there, but he was able to get out of it. So, both pitchers trying to build up some confidence here after putting up scoreless first innings.
First pitch to Caffrey is taken low for ball 1. Caffrey, Wichita native, so he's from close by here at Franklin Pierce. As a left-hander, swings at that one and fouls it back, and that'll even the count at 1.
Winchendon is where the Franklin Pierce University hockey teams have their arena, so a lot of students here have been in Winchendon plenty of times.
Winchendon just 10 minutes south of Franklin Pierce. As that one's grounded up the middle. Elias working to his left, fires on the first in time. 1 gone.
Yeah, that just shows a lot of range there, making that play look easy, but he has to cover a lot of ground to get that baseball right on second base and then make a strong, accurate throw for the first out.
And it's tough as Nicholas Pavia was watching that ball to him. The ball wasn't hit particularly hard, but as a pitcher, it's hard to gauge whether to go for the ball or not, because if you deflect it, that's an easy base hit.
And it just kills you, right? I mean, you want to pitch to soft contact, and when you get it and you're unable to translate that to an out, it must be so frustrating, but he's got a solid defense behind him, and Aris was able to make that play.
Fastball is taken outside, and that'll even the count at 1. Pavia going with the slider with the first pitch, but that one misses with the fastball. The pitch hits the batter, and Evertson reaches base.
Edwardson was a former NE10 Rookie of the Year, so he's another one of those dangerous bats in this lineup. Now he's on first base.
And once again, the Yellow Jackets have another base runner in back-to-back innings. That'll bring up Streeter. The runner goes. Called a strike. Once again, Boyd does not throw down. And it's another stolen base for the Yellow Jackets.
Boyd and Pavia have got to figure something out here because they do not want this to be a trend. Because only in the second inning now, 3 stolen bases on the battery.
That one's driven to the other right center field. That's going to fall for a base hit and go to the wall. Evertson rounding third. He will score. It's a stand-up double for Streeter and the RBI. Yellow Jackets lead 1-0.
And just like that, the Yellow Jackets strike first.
Here comes Tanaus for the Yellow Jackets. Shows bunt, gets it down. It's called a foul ball. So that one hung up in the air for a little while after it hit the ground. And Boyd was able to field it in foul territory. So it'll be interesting to see if Tanaus goes back to that approach here with still one away.
Something interesting to note, Ryan, about the hits so far that AIC has accumulated, all to right field, you know. Try and maybe hit to the opposite field, play with that wind that's blowing out there.
Tanaus, the son of a former Yellow Jacket, as that one's taken off the outside corner. Tanaus' father was a part of the 1991 College World Series for the Yellow Jackets, and now he's a new part of the Mets Vice President for Amateur and International Scouting. At the professional level, that is very impressive.
Yeah, and baseball players are everywhere, right, Ryan?
That's right. Especially for the New York Mets, who are looking for a successful season after a very impressive scouting they've had so far. As Tanaus has a .238 batting average. And the runner in scoring position for so far here, as that count is even at 2 after the called strike.
And it looks like that's going to take away the bunt. You know, now if he bunts it foul, it would go down as a strikeout. So he's going to be forced to swing the bat here with a runner in scoring position.
And that enables Marcano and Monks at the corner infield to stay back. Pickoff attempt fired on to second base, but not in time. Interesting to see Streeter walking back to the base there. Guess he didn't have a big enough lead.
And that's what stolen bases do to a pitcher, right? I mean, just the anxiety of feeling that someone's going to run on you.
Streeter leads off a second. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball well outside, and that'll run the count full.
Pavia's fastball, not a lot of control so far earlier in this game, Ryan. Most of the pitches he's thrown for strikes have been that changeup or the slider. When he tries to dial it up, he keeps missing his spots.
Runner at second with one away. The 3-2 pitch. Off the outside corner, ball 4. Yellow Jackets will have 2 runners on now here with only 1 gone.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Cole Patterson.
And Cole Patterson will step in for the Yellow Jackets. Supports his .236 batting average, has 16 RBIs, and a runner scoring in position here as he swings and misses at the first pitch.
And those walks at the bottom of the lineup really hurt you as a pitcher, especially against a team like the Yellow Jackets, who were really top-heavy, a lot of really high batting averages at the top. You want to accumulate your outs here if you're Pavia.
That one swung on the air to left field. Hewitt working to his left, gets behind it, makes the grab, 2 gone, and the runners will retreat to their bags.
It's a big out there. Now there's 2 outs with the leadoff hitter, Ramirez, up to the plate.
Well, it's the spot the Yellow Jackets like to see, with Ramirez singling his last time up over to right center. 2 on, 2 out. And number 2 dribbles that one in front of the plate. It's called a foul ball. As that ball was still seen to be inside of the batter's box, it looked like, as Kurt Boyd was looking like he was going to make a heads-up play there, but instead called the foul ball.
And that's the second time something like that has happened this inning. Pavia giving a little smirk there.
He's still ahead of the count. The 0-1 is taken in there for strike 2.
It's a great spot to be in. You do not want to get down in the count against a hitter like Ramirez. He will take advantage.
The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Nicholas Pavia allows one to the Yellow Jackets, but gets out of further jams as we head on to the bottom of the second. The We are back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball and NE10 now on Flow College. We're here in the bottom of the second of the inning where the Ravens stepped up to bat as they trail here 1-0 early on.
Yeah, now some pressures just to build up. You know, it's only 1-1 game. We're still early in the game, right? But, I mean, you don't want to be down for too long, especially against a team with AIC who can build on this lead very easily. And we just talked, Pavia unable to really locate his fastball right now. So if you're the Ravens, you want to put some runs up on the board to support your pitcher.
Well, here comes the goose for the Ravens as Shane Hewlett steps in now. He has that .317 batting average and a .440 on-base percentage as he dribbles that one off his leg, and that'll go foul, and he's behind the count 0-2.
Batting cleanup for the Ravens today.
I got the pleasure to meet Shane Hewlett in person for the first time last night. As Shane asked if he could actually be called Goose. He says he's been called that in his entire career. As he takes that one low. He also talked about his style up to the plate. He said he's reaching a new point in his career where he's wearing the short pants and the leggings. He said it makes him run faster on the base paths. As he swings and misses at that one for strike 3. One gone.
And he was just caught. He was just fooled there, right, Ryan? Just a really ugly swing there. It looked like O'Leary really able to just fool him on that one.
Anthony Marcano stepping in. He's Armani Marcano's brother on the Yellow Jackets. Armani Marcano not starting, however, for them, as he dribbles that one down the third base line, foul.
And I wonder what kind of scouting report the Ravens have got on O'Leary, because they're swinging at a lot of first pitches here.
That's right, and O'Leary's just getting ahead in the count early on, consistently to these hitters, as that one's dribbled over to short. Ramirez fires over to first, 2 gone now.
Just working so efficiently early on in this game. Some quick outs, not a lot of hard contact, not any hard contact at all from the Ravens early on.
That'll bring up Kurt Boyd to the plate as the Ravens backstop steps in. Boyd with a .293 batting average. He'll take that one on the inside corner for strike 1.
And he does not like that call, shaking his head there. He thought that was a little inside, and it's always interesting when a catcher's up to the plate because he knows the strike zone just a little bit better.
He'll take that one in the strike zone as well. And once again, O'Leary ahead in the count.
Just working so efficiently here, just pumping in strikes.
Attack, attack, attack. The 0-2 pitch. Taken inside. Looks like that slider gets away. 1-2 now.
That's a third pitch of this 3-pitch at bat that's been inside on Boyd. It looks like that's the way he wants to attack him here early on. Boyd struggling early on in this game, already has allowed 3 stolen bases. Trying to contribute at the plate now.
Yes. The 1-2. Ground over to third. Frometta on to first base in time. 3 up, 3 down once again for O'Leary. As he has the lead, it's 1-0 Yellow Jackets. Right into the top of third. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. We're back in the cold Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball and NE10 now on Full College. We're in the top of the third inning where the Yellow Jackets lead the Ravens 1-0. Similar approach for the Ravens defensively, as we see in lots of games. We have Marcano at first base, Boyd behind the plate, Julian Marks at third, Arias at short, Keel Lugo at second base, over and right, Michael Quiros, center, Joey Acker, and then left, Shane Hewlett.
Usually a very sound defensive team, the Ravens run out. And they're going to need it here because Pavia giving up some hard contact early on for these first 2 innings.
Well, Frometta lines that one into right center field. That's going to be an extra base hit once again as it rolls to the wall. Frometta rounds first. He's going to be in second standing. It's a stand-up double to start off the top of the third.
And that's right on cue, Ryan. I just said Pavia allowing a lot of hard contact, and that baseball is tattooed into right center field. And that's like the 4th time in 3 innings now, or just started the 3rd inning, that they've been hitting to the opposite field.
Well, they're sitting back. It's interesting to see. It looks like Pavia has not had as much control of his fastball today because he's known to throw that fastball very hard. So they're sitting back and waiting for the breaking ball, and they've been creating successful line drives over to right center. The first pitch to Guevara swung on and missed for strike 1.
And Leandro Guevara, not only is he batting .355, but he actually was voted the AIC Athlete of the Year this year for American International College. So just a really great athlete, recognized along the whole campus.
And the JUCO transfer looking to add on for the Yellow Jackets. As he drives that one deep to right field, Kyrgios going back at the track, at the wall, it's out of here! Guevara extending the lead with a 2-run home run. It's 3-0 Yellow Jackets.
And he's just, one of the best players in all of NE10, Ryan, and that's right there. I mean, just some absolute great power there. Opposite field, home run, maybe helped by the wind, but still just tattooed that baseball. And Pavia is going to have a talking to here on the mound because he's got to get settled down.
Well, once again, you've mentioned time and time again so far, John, another pitch where the Yellow Jackets have waited back on those right-handed batters, too. The right-handed batters have gone the opposite way, so they're waiting back on Pavia, and they're really having success over to right field.
And I just think it stems from the lack of control that he has on his fastball right now. You said it before. I mean, they're waiting on that off-speed pitch. To Pavia's credit, he is throwing really nice sliders and changeups here, but the problem is when you're not able to pump that fastball in for strikes, the hitters you become one-dimensional. The hitters know what pitches are going to come into the strike zone, and they're able to sit back on it and just let it fly. And these right-handed hitters really just taking advantage of that, sending it to the opposite field. And now the Ravens digging themselves a hole early on in this game.
Well, Drew Golden stepping out of the Ravens dugout to talk to Pavia, and you have to wonder if he picked up on something that Pavia is doing when he throws that fastball, because he's going to have to maintain control of it to continue in this game.
Especially if he wants to give them length. I mean, we're only in the 3rd inning. He was already giving up 3 runs, and especially with a doubleheader, you don't want to blow up your bullpen here in the first game. So Pavia's going to want to stay on this mound as long as he can.
When he gets ahead, as that one's flown to Joey Acker in center field, he'll get under it. And that's one gone. The Ravens finally get their first out here in the 3rd.
Now that in the left field is number 17, Kieran Caffrey.
Caffrey steps in. He grounded up to short his last time as he started off the 2nd inning. Ooh, as he flies that one down the left field line, foul. Going to go well out of play.
And I'm always surprised about how little cars are damaged around this field. I mean, so many balls get flown around here. Nothing's happened, which is, it's pretty good.
Once again, that one heads towards the street.
I hope no one's walking their dog around there.
There's plenty of crowd here at Pappas Field in New Hampshire, where it's a windy day, but fans are still coming out as that one's fouled back right at us. 3 straight foul balls as Pavia is still ahead in the count, 0-2.
That one was coming straight at me, Ryan.
That one was coming straight at the booth. Will Caffrey pull this one? Swings and misses at that one, strike 3. Nicholas Pavia bounces back with a K.
Really nice pitch there. Got Caffrey really expanding the strike zone there. That pitch was in the other batter's box, but a really nice slider there, able to get him off balance And a really big second out.
That's the third strikeout for Nicholas Pavia as Edvardson steps in. As he takes the slider outside for ball one. Edvardson started the whole rally in the second inning, getting hit by a pitch. And he came around to score after stealing second base. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Count even at 1.
And for Pavia, I mean, you want to just stop the bleeding here, especially, it's early on in the game, but O'Leary's looked really good for AIC. So you want to just keep this at 3 runs, give the Ravens a chance to score, play some runs of their own.
Pavia's behind in the count. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. That'll even the count at 2.
And both pitchers really opposites right now with how many pitches they're throwing.
Grounded over to short. Arias working to his right. Fires across the diamond as that will be not in time. Edvardson gets on base for the second time. That'll go down as an infield hit.
Yeah, and that's just a really tough play to make as a shortstop. Throwing across his body, off balance, just unable to catch a speedy runner there. And that's just unfortunate for Pavia. You pitch this off contact, but stuff like that just happens in baseball.
Aiden Streeter steps in. Hit the RBI double in his last at-bat as that slider's in there for a called strike.
Yeah, with Edvardson at first, you have to still be careful. He stole back in the second.
The 0-1 pitch in there for a strike 2. So back-to-back breaking balls from Nicholas Pavia to start this at-bat. Runner goes, the 0-2 is driven in the air to right field, center field. Acker under it, and that will end the inning. So 2 runs come across the long ball as Guevara extends the American International's lead. It's 3-0. We're headed to the bottom of the third. You're watching College Baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. We are back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball and NE10 now on Flow College as O'Leary is back on the mound for the Yellow Jackets as he finds himself with a 3-0 lead and looks to continue to roll.
Yeah, and it's he's faced 6 batters and he's put down 6 batters here. So 2, 1, 2, 3 innings to start off his outing this afternoon. Now he's going to face the bottom of the lineup for the Ravens, starting with Arias.
Well, it's been 6 up, 6 down for O'Leary. And Arias steps in as he takes that first pitch low for a ball.
So something to mention is Ramirez, when he stole that base back in the first, that tied AIC's single-season stolen base record.
It's actually one more from reaching 28, and that'll be the record for American International, held by Chad Lavelle, who is an assistant coach on the Yellow Jackets.
A lot of connections here with the Yellow Jackets, with family member and players who really stick around here with this program.
That's right, and Chad Lavelle's brother, Ryan Lavelle, played at Franklin Pierce. That breaking ball is driven to right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So the Ravens get their first base runner, still with nobody away in the third.
That's big there, just to finally break through, finally get someone on base. Make O'Leary work here with some pressure on the base pads, and Arias does run very well.
comes DeAndre, the designated hitter for the Ravens. He was injured for a majority of the season as pickoff attempt to first base. Arias back standing.
DeAndre DHing in the first game of this doubleheader. That honor usually goes to Eli Meredith, but with DeAndre coming back, he's going to be getting some DH at bats now.
First pitch to him was taken on the inside corner for strike one. Arias leads over first. Fastball taken outside, and that'll even the count. Arias with 11 stolen bases on the season. As that one's driven in the air to center field. Going back on it is Patterson at the warning track, at the wall. It's out of here! Noah DeAndre gets the Ravens back on the board. It's 3-2.
And Ryan, that ball just kept traveling and traveling and traveling. I mean, it just didn't stop. I thought for sure it would have been caught, and it just couldn't stop. And that's the deepest part of the ballpark there for a two-run home run.
Well, DeAndre tallies his 11th home run of the season. And the Ravens are back within one run here in the third inning. And that's a bat where the Ravens really missed for that meat of the season there, because Noah DeAndre held one of the top 5 home run records in the league, even with the injury, with that going under the wayside and put in the previous 3 games.
Yeah, he's just a great player to add to your lineup here, especially down the stretch, getting ready for postseason baseball. And right there, you just see how much power he has. I mean, he just powered that baseball to center field, Ryan.
Then I'll bring up Frenchie Monks, as O'Leary now falling behind 2-0. So he might be a little frazzled after that homer. The 2-0 is driven foul. Good contact there by Julian Monks. He's going to look to straighten that one out.
That really was a bloop in the blast. I mean, you got Arias there who kind of just bloops it into right field, and then DeAndre with an absolute nuke into center. And that's a big home run. It puts the Ravens back in the game here. Go from 3-0 now to 3-2.
Monks lifts that one to the right side in foul territory. It'll go out of play, and that'll even the count at 2.
Monks has some power as well. I mean, the numbers don't jump out at you, but when he gets a hold of one, he could really send it into left field. I've seen it from personal experience, Ryan. He can really get a hold of one.
The 2-2 pitch. Driven to second. Tanaus over to first in time, 1 gone. So a good bounce back out after falling behind the count 2-0 after giving up the homer. And just like that, there's 1 gone.
Joey Acker.
And it's good for the Ravens to get those 2 runs without any outs being put up before them. Really make O'Leary work, get his pitch count up, and they were in danger of letting him get into a groove in those first 2 innings.
First pitch is on the inside corner to Acker. He grounded out the first base his last time up. He swings and misses at that one. It's 0-2. So O'Leary found himself behind the count to the previous hitter after giving up a home run, now attacking. Will he go for a waste pitch here? The 0-2 pitch. Driven in a deep left field down the line. It's going to be a foul ball. Acker getting ahead of that slider. Just could not straighten it out enough.
He really got a hold of it there, and it just went foul. Acker was looking for a stand-up double there.
Acker has 2 homers on the season. He grounds that one over to short. Ramirez fires across the diamond, not in time. Cersei couldn't squeeze that one at first, but it looks like Acker might have beaten that one out regardless. And the Ravens with another base runner.
So I was going to say, Ryan, I feel like even if he does hold on to that baseball, Acker just runs too well down the line. He was going to beat that out for an infield hit.
And that'll definitely go down as a base hit. The Ravens threatening once again with the tying run aboard. Ramirez, that was a very tough play for Ramirez, working to his right in a full sprint, feeling that, and firing across his body as his momentum was taking him to the right side. Still delivering an accurate throw, but it just was not in time to beat the speed of Joey Acker.
No, Acker just runs too well, and Fermetta also might have had a chance at it there, but Ramirez trying to take control of that play, but just unable to get the out.
Quiros lifts that one to the left side. It'll go foul. It looks like the fans had to dodge that one. Walking down the walkway, looks like a family is over there on the left side. It landed right in between them. But don't worry, the car didn't get hit or anything. Sword on and missed, strike 3. O'Leary bounces back with another strikeout.
And that was a dominant at-bat for O'Leary. I mean, just really giving it to Quiros there on 3 pitches, and that last swing, a very weak one.
Well, that'll be his 3rd strikeout of the game, as O'Leary looks to get his team back in the dugout with the lead. Acker leads on the first. First pitch to Lugo is not going to happen as a pickoff attempt over. Acker back standing.
O'Leary bouncing back well after that 2-run home run, getting Monks and just allowing an infield hit, and then a really nice strikeout of Quiros.
There's another pickoff attempt by O'Leary. This time Acker's back on the slide. He awaits Keo Lugo, who struck out on 3 pitches his last time up. He swings at that one and misses for strike 1.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He's seen 4 pitches. He swung at every single one so far this afternoon.
Lugo fouls that one back. And once again, O'Leary's ahead of Lugo, 0-2.
This is a really big out here if O'Leary's able to get it. You know, heart of the order here, the number 3 batter. You're already giving up 2 runs, and you want to go into the 4th with your team still up at least a run.
Now it's taken in the dirt. Acker retreats back to first base. Good job there by Guevara, maintaining that one in front of him.
Yeah, especially with Acker at first. You know, he has good speed. If that ball even gets a little away from him, you got to think Acker wants to get into scoring position.
Well, they send him here. Acker has 13 stolen bases on the season. Lugo lifts that one to right center field. Coming in on it is Edvardson. He'll get under it, makes the play, and that won the inning. But the Ravens get back on the board with Nolan DeAndre's homer. It's 3-2 Yellow Jackets who head to the top of the 4th. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
We are back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. Here in the top of the 4th, I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick giving play-by-play here with John McKenna giving color. And the Ravens getting back on the board, but they're still behind 3-2.
Yeah, but there's a really big home run there by Nolan DeAndre there. Maybe a little bit of in danger of letting this ball game get away from them early on, down 3-0 early in the game, and that home run just cements them back in the ball game. But now it's up to Nicholas Pavio. This is a big inning for him. You know, your team just got back into this game. You're only down 1 run. You've got to put up a 0 here and not let AIC gain any more momentum.
Sam Tanaus steps in for the 2nd time as he takes that one for a called strike. Tanaus walked his first time up.
If you were going to pick anywhere in the lineup to try to have a quick inning, it's right here. You got 8, 9, and 1. You know, and this is a really big inning for him. I mean, you do not want to send the message across that you're going to give up these runs back that your team just gave you.
Right. And especially after your bats score runs behind you. You want to get them right back into that dugout and keep them hot.
On the other end of it, I mean, you want to put O'Leary back on the mound as quickly as possible after he gave up the runs he did. Just not let him really try to get back into a flow that he was in the first 2 innings where he looked pretty dominant against the Ravens.
The 1-2 pitch. Taken in the dirt, and that'll even the count at 2. Pavia with 50 pitches now here in the 4th. The 2. Taken inside. That'll run the count full.
Really good at bat by Chanus here, you know. Now worked a full count here, and this is really, really good for a team when their 8 and 9 hitters work at bats. Even if they make out, it really tires the pitcher up for the top of the order.
The payoff pitch is taken outside for ball 4. And once again, Tanus has another walk.
He's just seen the ball really well. And it's the second time he's going to be on base, and the leadoff base runner always kills you as a pitcher.
Yes.
He's going to have to work here if he wants to get out of this inning unscathed now.
You mentioned in previous games, I know I have, how leadoff walks are the biggest bugaboo as a pitcher because it just sparks so much momentum on what could be for the remainder of the inning. Pickoff attempt at first, but runner's back standing.
And what adds to that is a team like AIC who's just, they're going to run.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and you know they're going to run. It just really gets in your head as a battery, pitcher and the catcher.
First pitch is driven to left field. That's going to be a base hit. So now round second, but he'll stay there. As the throw comes in, now there's 2 on here, nobody out.
And the bottom of the order setting the table for AIC.
How about that? The bottom of the order driving Nicholas Pavia out of the game. Let's take a break as the Ravens change pitcher. It's the top of the 4th here in Ringe, New Hampshire. The Yellow Jackets lead by 1. You're
I thought you would hit it, and I already hit it. I was trying to go by the script, and I never been up before. It's all good. I think we're running to the end clean, so it's all great.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Ravens, number 30, Anthony Paulicelli.
We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball. NE10 now on full college as the Ravens made a pitching change. Looks like Anthony Paulicelli as the freshman southpaw on the mound for the Ravens now.
Yeah, and not the outing you'd want from Pavia. Only pitching 3+ innings here, allowing the first 2 base runners of the 4th to get on, and it's going to be a tough ask for Paulicelli now with 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and the top of the order for AIC with Ramirez to face him. So tough ask, but you know, when you're in a bullpen, this is what you sign up for. I mean, you're willing to get into this game whenever they ask you, no matter what the situation is. So you got to think he's going to be pumped up here.
Like you said, Paulicelli is coming in when it's hot, especially with the top of the lineup. But as a freshman, you have to wonder how much ice in the veins a young pitcher like this could have. Definitely being put to the test here late in the season.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Yaudy Ramirez.
Yaudy Ramirez singled back in the first inning. But now facing a left-hander, see if anything different could happen.
That's another thing early on in the game. a manager would like to put in an opposite thrower, maybe throw off the lineup for AIC. Now they have to face a left-handed hitter.
Well, first pitch to Ramirez is taken for a ball. The Yellow Jackets dugout is fired up here. 2 on, still nobody out. The 1-0 pitch, taken inside for ball 2.
Boy, and this just really is a tough ask. I mean, probably as a relief pitch, you don't think you're going to get into the game this early on, right? And now, you know, you're facing one of the hotter hitters on this AIC team, and you're down on the count.
Palicelli with a 4.91 ERA, but he's averaging 11.05 strikeouts per 9.
And you got to think that's why he's on the mound right now. You need to strike out here. Ramirez isn't, you know, invulnerable to that. He struck out back in the second inning.
Ramirez does lead the team in RBIs with 35. As he takes that one in the dirt for ball 3. So as I mentioned, the freshman struggling to hit the zone early in this at-bat.
That was something with Pavia as well.
The 3-1 pitch is fouled down the left side into the Ravens dugout, dribbled out of it.
High pressure pitch coming up now. 3-2 count. Runners are first and second, nobody out. And, you know, he misses here. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
And you still have to face the meat of the order. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Swung on a miss, strike 3. The throw goes to second. It'll be not in time. A huge double steal attempt paying off for the Yellow Jackets. However, the strikeout happens, and there's one gone.
That's a big strikeout there for Palicelli, but, you know, AIC once again super comfortable with running on Boyd this afternoon.
Here comes the Yellow Jackets' third baseman. Frometta steps in with 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. First pitch is a breaking ball taken low for ball 1. Another RBI situation for Frometta as he takes that one high for ball 1, or ball 2.
And he was walking out of the box before that pitch was even caught, Ryan.
Well, it's all about that delivery from Palicelli. That one was not deceiving at all. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Frometta doubled in his last at-bat in the third, but back in the first inning, he had a runner in scoring position and ended up striking out swinging. The 2-1 pitch. In the dirt for ball 3. So back-to-back 3-1 counts for Palicelli.
Something to note for the Ravens offense, Monks and Marcano playing in on the infield grass right at the lip of it.
Right. In the middle infield playing back. The 3-1 pitch. Through the gap, that's a base hit. 1 run will score, rounding third. The throw will be offline and 2 runners will score. The ball gets away to the backstop and Frometta will go on to second base standing. It's a 2 RBI single, and the Yellow Jackets extend their lead. It's 5-2.
And just like that, Ryan, the Ravens had that big 2-run home run, get some momentum, you know, really try to get some ice back in their veins, and just like that, AIC plates 2 more of their own, and the Ravens down 3 again.
So the power of the stolen base is being foreseen here by the Yellow Jackets as they plate 2 runs once again there. First pitch is a breaking ball, dribbled foul. 0-1.
You know, and there's still only 1 out. Now it's Guevara up to the plate, and he muscled 1 out to right field back in the 3rd inning. Things are not getting easier for Palucci here.
That one's taken outside, and they'll even the count. Like you said, Guevara homered back in the 3rd inning. There was a 2-run homer, also with a runner at second base. He's facing a similar situation here, this time with 1 out. Swung on a miss. Bat gets away from him. And Palicelli ahead in the count, 1-2.
That's big for the freshman there. He was down in the count. Both previous batters, now he's finally ahead in 1. And this is definitely a situation you want to be in the head count against Guevara.
Ravens trying to limit the damage here. Palicelli ahead of the count. The pitch.
Another one. That one's so good.
Rounds over to first. Marcano will take it easily and step on first base. Runner advances with 2 gone now.
So I need that one still charged.
First baseman number 15, Nick Searcy.
Cersei steps in now. He flew out to center his last time. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
And he's still looking for his first hit. And one of only 2 Yellow Jackets that hasn't gotten on base yet earlier in this game. Him and Caffrey still looking to get on base for the first time this afternoon.
First pitch to him is flown out down the line. Monk's under it in foul territory, and that will retire the side. But 2 runs come across for the Yellow Jackets. They extended their lead by 3. You're watching college baseball.
Played it in the 3rd inning, trying to make it a 1-run game again, but AIC coming right back with 2 runs of their own. And as we kind of predicted earlier on, Ryan, a high-scoring game here, but definitely the advantage going to AIC, and a big part of that has been the man on the mound for AIC, O'Leary. He did give up that 2-run home run.
Right.
Besides that, he's been pretty solid.
Well, last time he stepped on the mound with a 3-run lead, he gave up a bloop and a blast, so that was to lead off the inning. So let's see if it's a similar approach by the Ravens here. Still trailing by 3 once again. Hewlett squaring to bunt, pulls back and gets hit by the pitch, and he'll be sent to first base. So the breaking ball gets away from O'Leary, and once again the Ravens have a leadoff base runner in back-to-back innings.
And, you know, that's right on cue, because back in the 3rd, that really seemed to get to O'Leary. I mean, getting that leadoff batter on seemed to kind of mess with his mechanics a little bit there. Maybe his attention diverted with the runner on first base and the runner at the plate, and that led to that 2-run home run for DeAndre. The Ravens looking to take advantage of that again in the 4th inning.
Anthony Marcano steps in. He has 6 homers on the year. He swings and misses at that one for strike 1.
Last time O'Leary was in this situation, he kind of fell behind a lot of batters when runners were on the base paths. So he throws back to first.
Like I said, Hewlett wearing those short pants because it feels like it increases his speed. He said that's what he heard before he went to that approach with his apparel. He said it's given him more power than anything. He said this is the most powerful he's felt at the plate since the equipment change, I guess you can say. As Marcano fouls that off. Hewlett, as he leads off at first base, he still has 10 stolen bases on the season, so he likes to bring that speed to play a factor on the base paths.
And whenever he gets it done, right? I mean, I'm sure no one really minds how he wears his socks or his pants if he's as productive as he's being right now.
Marcano over to third base. Fumbled for a second and throws on to first by Frometta. And that'll be the first out. So Frometta bobbling that one in his glove. He had no chance to fire on the second, try to have a double play, but instead took the safe out. And like that, the Ravens have a runner in scoring position here with one away.
He played that on a hop there, and it's just really good, quick decision-making there. You see, he takes a quick look to second base. He knows he doesn't have the play, so he makes the accurate throw to first for the first out. Solid play there by the AIC third baseman.
Kurt Boyd steps in as he takes that one in the dirt. Guevara having a great day behind the plate so far for the Yellow Jackets as he keeps another ball in the dirt in front of him. That's huge with the runner at second, only with one away, keeping him there. Boyd swings and misses at that one, and that'll even the count.
A lot of swings and misses here for the Ravens, and O'Leary really deceptive on the mound. They're getting a lot of Ravens to expand their strike zones in this game.
Deception has been key, despite the one long ball. Boyd swings and misses at that. And he's behind 1-2. O'Leary looking for the pitch to throw here while he's ahead. The 1-2 pitch. Taken in the dirt. Another great block by Guevara.
And he knows the situation better than anyone, you know. He knows the speed that Hewlett has on second base. If that ball gets just a little further away from him, he will be going to third base.
O'Leary sets. The 2-2 pitch. Driven foul. It's like Boyd had way too much movement on that swing in his right foot. Obviously, that's the pivot leg, but he looks like he stepped back in his swing on that. Just lunging at the ball, trying to create contact. He stays in the at-bat, however. 2-2 pitch, fouled off again.
And he's just trying to stay alive.
I don't know if I'm just noticing it now, or if this is just his protect approach, but it looks like that back leg is moving back in his swing.
Could be his two-strike approach at the plate. Just trying to make contact.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Kurt Boyd going down on strikes and 2 away now for the Yellow Jackets. I'm not sure if that's the exact two-strike approach you want. Maybe it's something that he's just falling into at the plate. But that's something to look for Coach Chambers or something here as Kurt Boyd is stepping back with that right foot as he's swinging. And I could be wrong. Maybe that is his two-strike approach.
Now Arias, he's actually 1 for 1. He has one of the 2 hits the Ravens, 3 hits Ravens had this afternoon. And a single here could score Hewlett from second base, Ryan.
As he leads off a second, Arias is ahead of the count. And he's ahead even more now, 2-0. O'Leary really takes a trot off the mound time to time. He goes pretty far off the mound in between pitches.
And I've noticed it's when he's behind in the count, he wants to just clear his head.
Maybe reset.
But when he's ahead in the count, I mean, he kind of fires that ball as fast as he can.
But he falls behind once again here. 3-0 to Arias. First base is open, but you do not want to put the tying run to the plate. Fires that one right over. That'll be strike 1.
And that tying run would be Nolan DeAndre on deck, who's already sent one into center field. So you don't want to put runners on base for him as he's feeling really good right now.
That's right. Arias still ahead in the count, 3-1. The pitch. Taken in the dirt, ball 4. So DeAndre will have a chance here with 2 outs as the tying run.
Now batting, the designated hitter number 7, Nolan DeAndre.
Coming into today, Nolan DeAndre has 29 RBIs. And with what he went through this season, being gone for that long and still leading the team in RBIs, as he drives that one to right center field, that'll fall for a base hit. He will around third. He will score easily. Arias arriving at third base. It's an RBI single. 5-3 now.
Now
Nolan DeAndre continuing to add to his RBI totals this year, coming in clutch. Now the go-ahead run stepping up to the plate in Julian Monks.
And once again, O'Leary, when there's runners in scoring position, runners on base, he seems to just get rattled. And it's again Nolan DeAndre taking advantage of it, sliding that one into right center field. Now runners in the corners.
Monks fouls that one back. He falls behind the count. Monks with only 5 RBIs on the season through 31 at-bats. Takes it outside for ball 1.
A big spot here. Now it's a 2-run lead for AIC.
Will the Ravens continue the 2-out rally? The pitch. Foul back.
O'Leary not really doing a good job of preserving the leads that he's been given by his offense. It seems just when they kind of explode for a couple of runs, he gives them right back. Ravens doing a good job of sticking in this game.
O'Leary ahead of the count, 1-2. That one's driven to center field. Going toward it is Patterson. He'll make the running grab. A great job by Patterson, saving some runs. Although the Ravens tack on 1, they still trail 5-3. We're heading to the top of the 5th. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
Yellow Jackets 5, the Ravens 3.
We're back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. As Palicelli's back on the mound. He fired a first strike already as that one's taken for ball 1. So the count even after that. He attacked him with the first pitch fastball inside the strike zone. As he swings and misses at that one, did that hit off of his body?
I think that hit off his shoulder, but he swung through it anyway, so that's going to go down to strike 2.
So Palicelli going with 2 breaking balls to start the at-bat and then goes to that fastball, hitting the batter, but still gets a swing out of it. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Palicelli racking up his second strikeout, 1 gone.
You know, and the Ravens getting swings and misses, getting some strikeouts in this ball game. I think that's the 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Ravens pitching. So getting AIC to swing and miss, just not being able to get consecutive outs.
Well, here comes Edvardson. He's reached base twice already today. As he's his 3rd plate appearance. Takes that fastball high and out of the zone for ball 2. He scored back in the 2nd inning after he was hit by a pitch and singled back in the 3rd. Takes that one low, and he's ahead in the count 3-0.
After that strikeout there of Caffrey, Palicelli falling behind the count against Edwardson, who already has a stolen base, so you don't want to put him on the base paths again.
He gets that one over for the first strike. The 3-1 pitch. Taking over the heart of the zone once again, the count's full.
Good job at Palicelli there, being able to make it a full count here.
The payoff pitch. Driven to the end of right field, Quiros takes a few steps back, settles under it, 2 away.
And that's impressive from the freshman there. Down 3-0 in the count, able to work it back to 3-2 with some really nice pitches, and then just able to get Edwardson to just kind of fly out to right, no trouble at all. That's a really impressive at-bat there for the freshman pitcher.
This starts with composure, John. Being a young pitcher like that, working your way into trouble and getting out of it is key. As that first pitch to Streeter is called a strike.
And speaking of trouble, I mean, they brought him into this game in a high-pressure situation, and 2 runs were allowed to score, but he only allowed 1 hit, and he's already got 2 strikeouts.
That one swung on and missed by Streeter. Strike 2.
And the Ravens and Palicelli looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon.
You said consecutive outs is key. Fouled at the plate, and Streeter will stay alive.
Streeter was responsible for the first run scored this afternoon. He had that RBI double back in the second inning, scoring Edwardson. And the scoring did not stop there for either teams.
Foul to the right side, and Streeter continues this at bat. More of a crowd starting to form here in Sodexo. The Yellow Jackets lead the Ravens 5-3. Palicelli looking to get the Ravens back at the plate. There's once again another foul ball on the check swing that time. Streeter stays alive.
It's a really strong 2-strike approach here. And this is why, AIC hasn't been retired in order yet. It's 'cause each batter goes up there and puts together a competitive at-bat, making it hard on Raven pitching.
0-2. Struck him out. Kurt Boyd applies the tag. Misses it, however, is not called. Fires over to first in time. 1-2-3 inning for Palicelli as the Ravens will look to get right back into this game. They trail 5-3. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
And we would like to recognize today's fan of the game. Today's lucky fan will walk away with a free pizza courtesy of CNS Pizza, a proud partner of Franklin Pierce Athletics. Congratulations to our 2 winners, Jeff Rita of the men's ice hockey team and Z. Andelner of the women's rowing team. Congratulations. The bottom of the 5th for the Ravens, the center fielder, number 10, Joey Acker.
We're back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning where the Ravens step up to the plate trailing by 2. Joey Acker leading off as he takes that first pitch in for strike 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day after singling back in the 3rd.
It's the top of the order for the Ravens here, trying to shorten this lead or get this game tied up, down 2 runs in the 5th.
Acker fouls that one back at the screen. He's behind the count 0-2.
Acker was able to leg out an infield single back in the third there to short.
O'Leary deals. That one's in the dirt for ball one. The 1-2 pitch, taken high. So O'Leary going back to that fastball, but missing. Looks like a purpose pitch, however. Trying to get Acker to chase the high cheese. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball taken high once again, as that one misses even more.
O'Leary losing control right here. Up 0-2 on the count. Now it's 3-2. Acker looking for something to hit, or just for something to get him on first base outside the zone.
O'Leary finds the pitch he wants to throw. The 3-2. Taken in the dirt for ball four. O'Leary misses with the slider, and once again the Ravens have another leadoff base runner for the third straight inning.
And in those last 2 innings, the Ravens plated at least 1 run. So O'Leary, when he lets that leadoff batter on, he just seems to really get disgruntled. And this is not the time for him, as it's the top of the order for the Ravens.
The leadoff walks, I mentioned time and time again, is the biggest bugaboo for pitchers. That one's taken high to Quiros for ball one. As you mentioned, John, all those leadoff base runners the Ravens have had ended up scoring in the previous 2 innings.
Well, they really got off to a good start here, retiring the first 6 batters he faced over the first 2 innings. But ever since that third, he struggled, you know. When he gets behind in that count, he seems to really lose the at-bat, and that was uncharacteristic. It's the first time this game where he's been ahead in the count, and he just loses the batter.
Right. That one's driven over to left field. Caffrey getting under it. And he makes the grab, and Acker will retreat to first base.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Theo Lugo.
That'll bring up Lugo. He's 0 for 2 on the day after striking out back in the first, and then the third flying out to right field. O'Leary has had his number.
Yeah, and Lugo has been really anxious. Let's see if he swings at this first pitch here, because he's been swinging a lot.
Another pickoff attempt. Acker back on the slide as the throw was bounced over there. First pitch to Lugo is taken in the dirt. Another great block by Guevara, keeping a base runner at bay.
You know, that's not something that really shows up in a lot of numbers or statistics, but it really means a lot. And how comfortable a pitcher is when he knows the backstop can handle those pitches that can get away.
Lugo fouls that one back. That'll even the count at 1. Lugo with 25 RBIs on the season. Also worked 17 walks. As he takes that one, and he's ahead in the count, 2-1.
And if you had to pick a spot to really, you know, get a couple runs to tie this game, it would be this spot in the lineup here. 5th inning. Now we're over halfway through this game. Ravens' time is not going to be on their side for much longer.
The 2-1. Another fastball missing high. That's been a common theme this inning, and looks like O'Leary will take another trot.
And I think he's starting to lose it as this game has gone on past that 3rd inning. Each inning has progressively, he's been losing batters more, getting behind in the count, walking batters, and there's some movement there in AIC's bullpen.
Pitch clock winding down, and pickoff attempt over to first in time. Not in time. As Joey Acker was in standing. O'Leary sets the 3-1. Taken for ball 4. So the tying run reaches first base. And the Ravens threatening once again. Would now be the time where the Yellow Jackets take a timeout and go talk to O'Leary.
Looks like they're going to leave him be right now to face the number 4 hitter, Hewlett. But as I said earlier, there's some people getting loose in that bullpen, but no one's throwing yet. So you got to, think here that this is his inning as of right now.
Now, I'm just surprised that no one has called time here after he's worked 2 walks in this inning. It's usually time where, especially in a crucial spot like this and only a 2-run ball game, where you just go up to the pitcher's mound and try to settle your pitcher down. Maybe it's something that they know about O'Leary where he can just maintain control, but just something that I find shocking.
Especially at the harder lineup, too. I mean, this is a high-pressure situation with the best hitters the Ravens have to offer.
Well, he got ahead of Hewlett there, but just fired a ball over the plate, and that'll even the count at 1. Hewlett got hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance back in the 4th. Ended up scoring. But he struck out back in the 2nd. He swings and misses at that one, and he's behind in the count 1-2.
That's a really nice pitch there. His breaking stuff is really, really deceptive when it really gets going there. But he's had trouble putting batters away as of late.
O'Leary's still looking for what pitch to throw. The 1-2. Struck him out. O'Leary bouncing back with a strikeout. There's 2 gone.
That's huge right there. I mean, it's a cleanup hitter. Runners are first and second. 1 out, and it's a big strikeout here. Now you can just focus on the batter. There's 2 outs. Focus on the batter and get that final out here. Put up a 0 and keep that lead going into the late innings.
Here comes Anthony Marcano to the dish. He swings at that first pitch and fouls it away and out of play. Marcano has 21 RBIs on the season. So also homered 6 times. Acker leads off a second. Lugo leads off a first. That one's taken in the dirt.
Gotta wonder what their plan is with O'Leary. How long do they want him to pitch into this ball game? Because as it's gone on longer and longer, you could see the fatigue.
Driven to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Acker rounds third. He's going to score easily. Lugo trotting over to third. He'll be there standing. It's an RBI single for Anthony Marcano to pull the Ravens within 1.
The Ravens just climbing back in this ball game. They were down 3, came back to make it 1, then we're down 3 again. But playing some small ball here now as in the 4th and 5th inning, some singles in the left field, and now it's a 1-1 ball game again.
And here comes one of the Yellow Jackets staff here, going to have a talk, as you mentioned. Looks like the Yellow Jackets bullpen is still starting to get loose, so not a pitching change here as the pitching coach is out to have a conversation with his left-hander. Now, what do you think the conversation is here? It looks like they really trusted him to get out of the jam. No pauses of play previously as he was falling behind the counts a lot this past inning.
And I think it's letting him know they're still ahead in the game. They're winning 5-4, and just telling him who's up to bat. He's had a lot of success against Boyd this afternoon. He's really had his number. We mentioned how his at bat in the 4th, he struck him out back there, and Boyd kind of looked unsettled in the box. I think letting him know that, hey, you got this guy's number. We're still up. There's 2 outs. Get this guy. And I think I'd be surprised if he comes out for the 6th. I think they're just trying to amp him up here to finish his outing.
Well, there's 2 away. I think that was definitely something else mentioned, that there's 2 outs. So work at him. No need to be cute here because Arias is on deck and he has 2 hits in this ball. Well, he's gotten on base twice in this ball game.
Yeah, I think it's just letting him know that, he's had Boyd's number and there's 2 outs and he's just got to get out of this inning.
Flared over to the right side. Tanaus ranging over to his left, making the grab, and that will end the inning. The Ravens scratch another one across as they pull within 1 run. The Yellow Jackets lead 5-4. We're heading to the top of the 6th. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. We're back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now Flow College. Here at the top of the 6th inning, where the Yellow Jackets still lead the Ravens 5-4. Looks like Anthony Palicelli still on the mound for another inning of work for the Ravens, as the left-hander fires over the plate, and that'll be a ball.
And he was really impressive in that 5th, Ryan. I mean, first 1-2-3 inning from Ravens pitching this afternoon, 2 strikeouts. So he's looking really good. He came in a really tough situation, and, he allowed those, not allowed, but he gave up that hit that scored those 2 runs.
That one's flared towards the middle. Arias working to his left, fires the first in time, 1 gone.
But besides that 1 hit he's given up, I mean, he's been pretty solid for the Ravens in relief. He's struck out 3 batters, only allowed 1 hit, and about 2 1/3 innings of work.
That 1 hit was crucial, however, with those 2 runs scoring, but those were not his runners.
Yeah, those are credited to Pavia, who started off that inning with 2 runners on base, and then he comes in trying to put out the fire, and he was unable to. But that's not the end all be all for these Ravens. It's 5-4 now. He did a really good job putting up that 0 in the 5th. Now he's got to put up another one to try to keep this comeback going for the Ravens.
Was facing the bottom of the lineup now, as we saw just a couple innings ago, that this is the exact 8, 9, and 1 leading off an inning that Pavia was set to face back in the 4th, but Pavia allowed 2 base runners to start off that inning, and then he was taken out of the game for Palicelli.
Yeah, it's already gotten off to a different start. He got that leadoff batter here in the 5th, unlike Pavia, who walked to Moans. So, he's looked really solid. I mean, he's gotten into situations where he's been behind on batters a lot, in this appearance, but he's come back to get these outs.
Gets back even right there with that foul ball. As Patterson was behind on that and fouled it to the left side, now to play.
The Ravens probably have a lot of confidence in him as a freshman to put him in that situation and to keep him throughout this game on the mound.
Driven near to left field. Hewlett working to his right as it'll go foul. So a good piece of contact there. That ball landing about 5 to 6 feet. Foul down the left field line. Patterson 1 for 2 on the day. Is back and singled in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch struck him out. Palicelli tallying another K. That's his 3rd. Looks like that'll be his 4th strikeout. Now the lineup will flip over to Ramirez, who struck out his past 2 plate appearances.
Yeah, this is big right here. Facing a batter like Ramirez, going back to his at bat in the 4th, he was up at the plate with runners on 1st and 2nd. Now you just feel so much better. There's 2 outs, there's nobody on base. You're facing a guy like him, and he's already struck out against you once before, so a lot of confidence.
That was his first batter back in the 4th inning, as that one misses high for ball 1.
Ramirez has struck out twice. He had that single to lead off the game in the 1st, and since then he's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Palicelli trying to give him a 3rd one right now.
Swung on a missed, and Palicelli ahead in the count 1-2.
And you mentioned, Ryan, I mean, he has a K per 9 above 11 on the season, so it's no surprise that he's making a lot of AIC batters swing and miss.
He sets the 1-2 pitch. Driven the end of deep left field. Hewlett coming in on it, and he'll make the grab, and that will retire the side. So another 1-2-3 inning by Palicelli. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. The Yellow Jackets lead 5-4. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
It's killing me inside. If I could just get next to you, I'd probably be alright. But we're so busy in this
We are back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flo College. Vaughn O'Leary still on the mound for the Yellow Jackets as he still holds on to a 1-run lead.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Ryan. I mean, I thought, in that 5th inning, he was gotten some trouble there. Had that conference on the mound right for Boyer. I thought it would be his last batter. But now in the AIC bullpen, we have someone actually up and throwing instead of just some stirring in the bullpen. So they might just be trying to see how far they can go with O'Leary on the mound. It is a doubleheader. They have another 9 innings to play after this, so trying to squeeze as many innings as you can, or just outs in general, out of him.
And it makes me think how tight of a leash he's going to have this inning, whether it's one base runner or a couple of hits strung together by the Ravens. But we've seen in the past with the Yellow Jackets and what they do with O'Leary on the mound. They keep him in there. They stretch him past to what they would normally like out of a starting pitcher, so we'll see if that pays dividends here.
And the only difference is usually AIC's ahead by a lot in those situations, so it doesn't sting as much when he gives up a run or two. But, it's only a 1-run game here in the 6th inning, so they're really hoping that he can put up a 0 here and keep that lead intact.
Breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. So the beautiful backdoor slider getting Arias. Now O'Leary's ahead in the count. Flared in the air to center field. Patterson coming in on it. That'll drop for a base hit. His 2nd hit of the day, the 3rd time he's reached. Arias with another leadoff knock.
And just like that hit back in the 3rd, I mean, he really just kind of blooped it in there. And those are the type of hits that, they set up guys like Nolan DeAndre. Get runners to scoring position to score some runs. Really important to have a guy like Arias to just get on base. It's not flashy all the time, but he works walks, he bloops hits into the outfield, and that sets up a guy like DeAndre to hit the long ball.
The pitch. Taken outside, first one to DeAndre. As you mentioned, DeAndre homered back in the 3rd. Sees the go-ahead run in this situation. Takes that backdoor breaking ball on the outside corner.
Yeah, Ryan, he has 3 RBIs today out of the 4 runs the Ravens have scored. So, big part of the offense this afternoon.
O'Leary sets. Towards the 3rd base. On to 2nd, the throw will get him on the bag. He'll stay on the bag. So a great job by Tanous staying on it, but a collision made with Arias. Looks like Arias will get up, but that'll be the first out of the inning. So a great job by Frometta staying with the force out and getting the lead runner.
And that was old school, Ryan. I mean, Arias came in there second base hard to try to break up that force out, but a great play by the second baseman there to stay on the bag. And there's one away.
This looks like some of the Yellow Jackets players talking to the Ravens dugout and Arias as he came off the field, but it looks pretty civil.
Yeah.
Didn't look like anything crazy, any anger conversations. That collision did look pretty vicious, but Arias seemed to walk off the field all right. So now 1 out for Julian Monks as he steps up to the plate. Breaking ball is off the outside corner for ball 1.
And it's just not something you see anymore in today's game of baseball as a play like that. But it's something that had been in the game a lot, decades ago. So
right.
When it happens now, it is kind of odd.
Jose Bautista, Rufneto Door type of thing going on. But no, that was nothing close to that. That was obviously Blue Jays, Texas Rangers bad blood. Back in 2016, I think that was.
And in 2015, you had Chase Utley.
I know about that one.
With Tejada.
And, Ruben Tejada in the divisional round of the National League Division Series. Julian Monks is ahead in the count 2-1 here with the tying run on first base in the bottom of the 6th. He fouls that one down the right side. And goes out of play, and they'll even the count at 2.
I'm always fascinated by guys who don't wear batting gloves.
Right.
And especially when a day like it's cold, it's windy, not wearing the gloves. When he makes contact, I mean, that really must feel it in his hands.
Especially an inside fastball, getting jammed on something. That just can't feel good. Breaking ball is fouled off once again, and Monk stays alive. And we've seen a lot of that backdoor slider this inning in particular from O'Leary.
Slider has been his best pitch this afternoon. He's gotten a lot of swings and misses with that pitch, so no surprise.
Fastball gets away and goes to the backstop, and DeAndre will strut into second base as the count will run full, still with one away.
Really got away from him there, and, you know, Rivera's done a fantastic job behind the plate, but there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
I mean, that fastball just missed completely, unable to get in front of that one.
Especially as a catcher, when you're looking for your pitcher to hit a spot on a fastball especially, and you have your glove up there like that and it misses that badly, you can't make a play on it.
There's nothing you could do.
Right. There's an inside jammer. That rolls foul. I'm sure Monk's felt that one as he takes a look at that bat.
There must be something. Maybe he likes it, or, you know.
Julian Monks is definitely someone that would not surprise me to like that. His family's here today from France.
Oh, that's awesome.
Met his sister last night. He's a twin sister as he takes that one for ball 4, and the go-ahead run reaches first base now.
That's a big walk there. As the number 9 hitter, you work a walk, runner already in scoring position. That turns over to the top of the lineup now with a runner on. The tying runner on first, the go-ahead runner, the tying runner on second, the go-ahead runner on first with Joey Acker.
And it looks like Yellow Jackets will be making a pitching change. So we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Ravens threatening. We'll step aside here on the Ravens Sports Network. Coming NE10 now on Flow College.
I'm surprised he started that.
This started that inning?
I'm surprised he started it.
And yeah, like especially after a leadoff single too.
Yeah, it kept him in. I don't know.
Our Southeast Canada has 7 hits for the Ravens.
7 hits. I have 6 hits.
I thought we had 2 from this inning.
No, they walked. That was a walk. Only one hit this inning.
Yeah, I have 6 hits too. All right, number.
This is 10.
Pitching for the Yellow Jackets, number 10,
That's not the right.
Charlie Calvinese.
We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. A pitching change for the Yellow Jackets here in the middle of the bottom of the 6th inning. Looks like Charlie Calvinese will get the go on the bump for them.
Yeah, and he's coming in here with an 8.53 earned run average. So not great numbers on the season, but he does have a high K per 9 rate. Ryan, as you told me earlier, what exactly is that K per 9?
Is at 8.05 Ks per 9 in 19 innings of work. So 17 strikeouts, right exactly where you want it. And that walk percentage also not that bad either. He's walked 13 batters in 19 innings of work and still with only one away here. Looking to force some soft contact on the ground, in particular here against Joey Acker.
Yeah, the double play is definitely what you want. It's the dream scenario for AIC here in the bottom of the 6th.
First pitch to Acker is swung on and belted foul and out of play.
And, you know, I'm just surprised O'Leary even started that inning. I mean, he was really laboring there in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. He was able to get out of the 5th with the lead still intact, and you bring him out to start the 6th and keep him in after allowing a leadoff single.
Right. Well, there was no surprise coming into this game how much they love to stretch O'Leary. Another breaking ball, that'll go foul. And just like that, Calvinese is ahead in the count to Acker.
And they brought him in because he has the ability to strike out batters.
Right.
A strikeout here would be big here.
See if he goes back to that slider. Or that breaking ball that he's used 2 times already. He's ahead in the count. The 0-2 goes right back to it as that one misses for ball 1.
Acker already has a single back in the third. It was an infield hit, and he worked a walk and scored a run in the fifth. So he's been active today.
Calvin, he's still looking for the pitch to throw. He's got it. The 1-2. Taken for a ball. Wow, even the count at 2. So a great take by Joey Acker.
Especially with 2 strikes there. It's a fantastic eye, and that's why he's the leadoff hitter for the Ravens.
Right. Like I mentioned, that on-base percentage over 500 is exactly what you need at a leadoff hole this late in the season, too. The 2-2. Popped up to the right side. Looks like Cersei ranging into foul territory, running into the fence. We won't grab it as that ball remained in play, but it was a long run for Cersei. No out was made, and Acker stays alive.
Good effort there. Did stay in the ballpark, but just didn't have the range to get over to in time, and it would have been a fantastic play if he did.
Right, and it's a very wide ballpark, and he definitely had to cover some ground for that foul ball to be recovered. 2-2 count still, however, to Joey Acker. 2 runners on, still only 1 away. The 2-2 pitch. Grounds over to short. This could be 2. Ramirez over to second. On to first for the 6-4-3 double play. Side retired. The Yellow Jackets escape the 6th with not allowing a single run. It's 5-4. You're watching Raven Sports Network on NE10 now on Flow College.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Wow. Would have rather them catch that fly ball.
Yeah, true. Let's see another day.
We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball, and NE10 now on Flow College. Anthony Palicelli still set to remain on the mound for the Ravens here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, and he's been absolutely fantastic in relief. Has retired 8 batters in a row, spanning back to the 4th inning. So he's really got it going on for the Ravens, and they're still down a run. So it's crucial for him to keep up the pace he's at, put up some more zeros. Time starting to fall away from the Ravens now as we enter the 7th inning.
And that only hit, we mentioned in the previous inning, that only hit Palicelli has allowed was a crucial moment from the hitter up now in Frometta. Those were inherited runners that scored from Palicelli. And that remains their lead. 5-4 Yellow Jackets. Breaking ball is off the outside corner for ball 1.
And Frometta, the only Yellow Jacket able to touch Palicelli so far.
The 1-0. Drilled down to the 3rd baseline. Foul. That got a record scratch from this ballpark. Everyone went quiet after that. No one seems to be hurt, however, over there. Coach Chambers still screaming from the dugout. As that 1-1 pitch is bounced in the dirt.
Frometta, 2 hits today, a single and a double. Double coming in the 3rd. Scored a run in that inning as well. So he's been active.
The 2-1 pitch. Taken up in the zone for strike 2.
He cannot believe it. He actually gasped with that strike call, Ryan.
He didn't look at the dugout, but he didn't look at the umpire, but he stepped out of the box with wide eyes there. As that one's bounced in the dirt, and that'll run the count full.
So another full count for Palusi, who has really been in a lot of long counts here.
Another full count indeed. The payoff pitch coming. Breaking ball off the outside corner once again, and Palicelli lets the leadoff man reach.
It's the first walk he's issued, and it's the first base runner he's allowed since the 4th inning. And it's just for Meta. He's the only person to be able to get on base.
There's some movement in the Ravens bullpen right now. But like I said, another leadoff walk is crucial as Palicelli's working late into this game.
Yeah, and with the 1-run lead, you get the sense the Ravens are trying to, playing with some urgency right now, trying to keep this deficit to just 1, give the offense a chance to come back here. So,
and the last time FloMeta reached a leadoff was a leadoff double back in the 3rd, and it was followed by a homer by Guevara, who's in the box now.
Yeah, he really muscled one out to right field back in that 3rd inning. One of the most dangerous hitters they have.
Looks like Drew Golden's going to take a trip to the mound right now and have a talk as Palicelli's still falling behind 2-0 to Guevara.
That's just a great time for a mound visit here. Young pitcher. He's been cruising, but finally is faced with some adversity here after the leadoff walk and one of the better hitters AIC has to offer in Guevara. So really good time here to let him know. Also, on the other end of it, you may be thinking maybe they're just giving some time for whoever's warming up in the bullpen to get loose here. And that's why the umpire is going out to the mound right now to try to speed things up as well.
Well, Palicelli is still at 44 pitches here in relief work. That's a lot of pitches out of a bullpen.
Yeah.
When you're able to get that out of a young left-hander like Palicelli, that's pretty big.
Pavia
save some arms in a game 1 of a doubleheader.
Yeah, excuse me. And Pavia only pitching into the 4th inning as well.
Right.
So Palicelli really trying to give as much length as possible to save any of the arms in the pen.
After a pickoff attempt, look to get things going against Guevara, who's done a great job behind the plate for the Yellow Jackets. And he's ahead 2-0 as another pickoff attempt. And if you look at the flagpoles over in right center field, this wind is really howling here in Ridge, New Hampshire. And it's not even going towards the right field line. It's actually going towards right center. So the ball will be moving out towards Sodexo Field as that one's fouled back.
Yeah, chilly day here, Ryan. I mean, we've been blessed with some really good weather early on this week, but today really shows that we're in New England.
Yeah. And a couple rainy days, now a cold, windy one. He loses the bat once again. That's the second time Guevara has lost the bat. Got to wonder if he can pine tar some of that up. I don't know if you can do that as a catcher, maybe, but got to pine tar that bat up, maybe.
Yeah, it's the second time, and once is, whatever. Twice is a little bit, what's going on here?
Got to hold on to that bat. But that'll even the count at 2. The runner's still at first, and nobody out. Here in the top of the 7th inning, 1-run ball game. Yellow Jackets lead 5-4. The pitch, taken in the dirt. Great block there by Kurt Boyd. And no advancement on the base pass by FloMeta.
Yeah, it's a great play by Boyd there, keeping the ball in front of him, and also just keeping FloMeta at first base. They've not stolen a base since the 4th inning.
The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, taken well off the outside corner. And 2 base runners start this inning. Here in the top of the 7th, 2 on, nobody out.
And this is looking eerily similar, Ryan, to that 4th inning where AIC was able to plate a couple runs, getting the first 2 batters on. Now Palicelli facing the cleanup hitter.
Especially reaching on 2 walks. It's not even, you're not letting the ball get put in play. It's free bases, even though that wasn't 2 good at-bats by FloMeta and Guevara. But letting them reach on the free base. As that one's taken off the outside corner, and once again, it's falling behind to Cersei, 1-0.
Cersei's actually 0 for 3 today, and that's uncharacteristic for him as he's 8 home runs in the season.
Right.
One of the better hitters, and he's been left off the score sheet, but he's trying to change that right now.
And you would have to think, that one's driven to right field sharply as Quiros. He's not going to field that one on a hop and dribbles in front of him. Quiros fires it on into the infield. The throw will be cut off. No advancement on the base pass, however. It'll be bases loaded here with nobody out. That was a tough play for Quiros to judge. It was a line drive on the short hop. He did a great job of keeping the ball in front of him, however. And the Yellow Jackets are playing station to station here. Looks like Coach Chambers is going to leave Palicelli on the mound here with 52 pitches.
That was a nice play, just keeping that ball in front of him.
His first pitch is a slider that misses off the plate. It's 1-0 once again. So Caffrey stepping in, getting ahead. Palicelli far behind. You would have to think Chambers is letting Palicelli stay in here because it's another left-handed batter. That breaking ball misses high.
Yeah, watch out.
That one didn't break enough. That would have brought a runner home.
Caffrey now with that single from Cersei, the only Yellow Jacket to not be on base.
2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Nearly lost his bat there. His right hand slipped off the bat.
Another batter with no gloves.
Here on this frigid day in Ringe, New Hampshire. Swung on and missed once again, and Palicelli works back into the count. It's 2-2.
He's really using this lefty-lefty matchup to his advantage here, attacking him inside. Caffrey swinging over these pitches.
Looks like he went with the changeup on that. Let's see what he does here. The 2-2 is driven to center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. One run will score. Rounding third. Fometta will score. Guevara is in as well. It's 7-4. And Coach Chambers will go to the mound here and will make that pitching change. So a huge knock. Still with nobody out. The Yellow Jackets have 2 more on base. And it's going to be a pitching change here for the Ravens. We're in the top of the 7th. The Yellow Jackets lead 7-4. We'll be right back on the NE10 Now on Flow College.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Ravens, number 4, Stephen Bang.
We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 Now on Flow College. A pitching change for the Ravens here in the 7th inning. After surrendering a few more runs, here comes Stephen Bangs onto the mound for the Ravens.
Bangs a senior here on senior day. He's pitching to an ERA of 4.80, and he's put in a rough situation here. 2 runs already plated for the AIC Yellow Jackets, and still nobody out, and runners in first and second, so he's going to have to pull off a little bit of a magic trick here to salvage this inning and keep it at a 3-1 lead for the Yellow Jackets.
The biggest thing for Bangs is trying to maintain control. In 2 doubleheaders ago, he was worked into a game, in a jam in particular, and ended up walking a runner home. So in this one, trying to turn the tide here in some trouble. 2 inherited runners for him, as you mentioned, John. Runner in scoring position also with nobody out. Bunt attempt. That one pulled back, but it's called a strike. 0-1.
And Marcano was all over that when he saw that bunt attempt.
Edverson's 1 for 2 on the day. He got hit by a pitch back in the 2nd and got a hit in the 3rd. He's showing bunt once again. Gets it down straight to the pitcher's mound. Fires it to 3rd. Pick attempt is in time. Julian Monks picks Stephen Bangs. And a great play there to get the force out.
That's just a fantastic play by the Ravens third baseman there. The throw is low. He keeps his foot on the bag with a fantastic scoop. That's just great from Julian Monks.
Stephen Banks smiling that one off. It's a heads-up play to go get the force out when the bunt was not particularly hit well. It was directly at Stephen Banks. He fired it on over to third, and Monks was able to save him with that throw. That slider misses outside for ball one.
And the ump is hearing it from the Ravens dugout after that ball call.
Caffrey leading off a second, Everson on first. One away. As that one swung on a missed, and that'll even the count. Streeter had a double, RBI double back in the second inning to get the Yellow Jackets scoring started, but has been quiet since after flying out the center and striking out back in the fifth. 1-1 pitch, taken low. And Everson Streeter will be ahead in the count, 2-1.
Banks did a really good job getting that first out here, but that's the problem with the situation he came into. Now, 2 more outs to still collect, but near the bottom of the order.
That one gets behind Kurt, and both runners will advance as it rolls to the backstop. So it'll go down as a passed ball as Kurt was unable to squeeze it.
Yeah, and Boyd just extremely unfortunate. Probably got mixed up there. Gets off the end of his glove. That will go down as a passed ball, and that's a big deal. Now you got a runner on third with less than 2 out. A fly ball could score that run.
And now the Ravens infield playing in here. 3-1 count. Misses for ball 4, and Banks will surrender the open base.
Now a chance really for the Yellow Jackets to just break it open here. Bases loaded. They're already up 3 runs. Only 1 out here. A double or even just a base hit might be able to just put the Ravens out of the game.
Well, Tanu steps in as the Yellow Jackets second baseman has reached twice already today with 2 walks. And he takes that one. It goes to the backstop. Runner coming home. He'll score easily. Stephen Bangs' wild pitch extends the Yellow Jackets' lead. It's 8-4.
Yeah, now in this inning, the Ravens have really been doing it to themselves here. 3 walks, a passed ball, and a wild pitch. Already 3 runs coming home this inning for AIC.
Umpire calling time. He's giving warning to Stephen Bangs that he has to engage with the batter at a certain point on the pitch clock. The 1-0. Driven to center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. 2 runners will easily score as Acker gets it in on the infield. The throw will be cut off. It is 10-4 Yellow Jackets after a 2 RBI knock by Tanus.
And the Yellow Jackets really pouring it on now. Ravens were sticking around there in the middle of this game, but 2 leadoff walks have led to a disastrous inning.
And that'll bring head coach Mike Chambers out to the mound for another pitching change for the Ravens. So we'll step aside here in the top of the 7th. The Yellow Jackets extend their lead 10-4. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College.
Attention please, now pitching for the Ravens, number 37, Dominic Papine.
We're back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. Dominic Pifine into the game for the Ravens as he fired a first pitch in there for a called strike.
And Pifine enters the game with an ERA of 13.5. He's facing the number 9 hitter, Patterson.
And that one's caught by Julian Monks as the wind was definitely taking that one to the center of the infield. A great job to adjusting to it, however, and he gets the second out. Dominic Pifine also with that high inflated ERA. He's only worked in 4.2 innings of work, but that strikeouts per nine is at 15.43, having 8 strikeouts in those 4 2/3 innings.
It really is amazing what these numbers look like in limited innings.
The ball hits the batter. And just like that, Ramirez is going to reach with the hit by pitch.
And
that'll be the 9th batter faced in this inning, and just like that, the Yellow Jackets have batted around.
And that means something for Ramirez as he is now looking, if they can do a double steal here and he can get in safely, it would be the single season record for AIC in stolen bases. So he is on base with a chance for that. And Ryan, do you think players know stuff like that?
Definitely. Going into a game, you know where you stand for the most part, especially at this level, at the college level, where stats do matter. Obviously, wins, losses matter above all. But at this point of the season, you're late into the season. The Yellow Jackets are below 500, and looks like a ball is going to be given to Pifine for not having engagement with the batter when the pitching clock. So it's going to be a pitch clock violation for Pifine. It'll be a 2-0 count.
And he was warned when he first entered the game.
That one's taken in there for a called strike. And however, gets back into the count. It's 2-1 now, as Frometta walked to start this inning. Runners go. The pitch is outside. There's no throw, and just like that, Ramirez has tied the single season record for stolen bases as he steals second base on the double steal.
So that's his second stolen base of the afternoon.
That's 28 stolen bases this season, tying Chad Lavelle. I'm sure that Chad Lavelle is happy for his player as he's a member of the coaching staff here. A 3-1 pitch is taken low for ball 4, and the bases will be loaded.
Again.
Mistake after mistake for the Ravens, as the bases are loaded once again, as you mentioned, John, and I'll bring the 11th batter of the inning up to the plate in Guevara.
Yeah, it's absolutely nightmarish inning for Ravens pitching. In this inning alone, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 walks, a hit by pitch, a wild pitch, and stolen bases. It's just not been good.
And then we mentioned over the break, this is not a team where you can afford self-inflicted wounds.
No, not at all.
Offense gets way too hot too quickly, and they're taking advantage here.
And they've really blown this game open. I mean, the Ravens have played competitive baseball all afternoon up until this point.
That breaking ball misses outside for ball 2. And if I were a member of the Yellow Jacket staff, I'd be telling Guevara, red light here. You got to see a strike, as that one's outside for ball 3.
And Pifine, you know, he might be a little rattled because he was given that warning early on by the umpire, and then he was charged a ball for the violation, so he might be a little off.
A 3-0 is finally crossed over the plate, and the ball streak is put to an end. Still behind the count is Pifine, however. Some more movement is happening over in the Ravens bullpen. That one's taken inside for ball 4, and just like that, another run comes across for the Yellow Jackets. Pifine is is beside himself, putting his hand on his head after that walk. It's 11-4, Yellow Jackets.
And Ryan, my scorecard is an absolute mess right now.
Me too.
Because of this inning. 6 runs already plated for AIC.
First pitch hits the batter, and Cersei gets hit by the pitch, takes one for the team as he'll walk over to first base. And just like that, another run comes in. It's 12-4 Yellow Jackets. Self-inflicted wounds after self-inflicted wounds for the Ravens today.
7 runs this inning, and when this inning started, it was only 5-4. And AIC's really giving it to Franklin Pierce now.
And when I say self-inflicted wounds, do not get me wrong. I mean more so as towards the pitching staff for the Ravens this game.
And it's all a snowball effect, right? I mean,
Right.
It starts with Pavia unable to have his control early on in the game, and him only being able to pitch into the 4th inning, and
Right.
it leads to this breakdown of pitching.
Yeah, normally Pavia only having control of his breaking ball instead of his fastball really helped the Yellow Jackets get momentum, have an edge to the pitching staff in this game. 2 gone here, bases loaded. That one's driven deep to right field. Kiros going back. Looks like he'll have room just shy of the wall and makes the grab, and that will retire the side. The Yellow Jackets scratch across 7 as they extend their lead in a big way. It's 12-4. We'll step aside here on the Raven Sports Network. Covered by the NE10 now. We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball. And NE10 now on Flow College. I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick here with John McKenna. And John, that previous inning was a rough one for the Ravens.
Yeah, you go from a game where you're only down 1 run, entering the last few innings of the game, trying to mount a comeback, and now it seems like all is lost. 12-4 into the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the first game of doubleheader. Ravens still starting to probably look forward at that second game here, but they still have a game to finish out here. And Ravens pitching has been the issue this afternoon.
Yes. Especially in a game where the Ravens were fighting for the entirety to scratch closer and closer, getting runs inning by inning. But just like that, the Yellow Jackets pull away there in the 7th inning. Still a few more innings to go here in this one, as Kiros will lead off for the Ravens. Charlie Calvinese still on the bump for the Yellow Jackets.
And he got that big double play in that 6th inning, Ryan, getting Acker to ground out 6-4-3.
Spectacular, and only facing 1 batter.
Yeah, he did the job.
He definitely did. First pitch to Kiros is taken in the dirt for ball 1.
Now in a situation like this, Ryan, you're up 12-4. You're in the 7th inning. You got to throw strikes. If they hit it, they hit it, right? But
yes.
If you're Calvinese, you want to save the rest of your bullpen here and just throw strikes and get this game over with.
Keep that pitch count low for Calvinese is definitely a goal, but he's behind the count to Kiros to start this inning, 2-0. And the pitch here is taken high for ball 3. It's very important to just attack the strike zone, John, when you're up even at any point of the ball game, especially when the tying run is not even close to being to the plate.
Wow.
And a 4-pitch walk to start the inning for the Yellow Jackets, and the Ravens with the leadoff base runner.
It's the first time Quiros has been up. He was 0 for 3 with the strikeout before that walk, so he's going to be on bases for the first time today.
Here goes Keo Lugo, the Ravens' second baseman. Lugo's 0 for 2 in this one, and he walked in his last plate appearance in the 5th. First pitch to him is in the dirt. 5 straight balls to start this inning. Quiros leads off at first. The 1-0 pitch is flown out to right field. Edvardson working to his left. Under it, makes the grab. Quiros faking a tag, but he'll trot back to first base. One gone.
Yeah, Quiros probably not actually planning to tag up there. From
No
that fly
play in
ball.
this game at all either. Your run does not even amount to much of anything besides tagging on. You're not the tying run. No reason to force any issue. The Ravens should just try to continue small ball approach here, John.
And this is also going to bleed into the second game because they've used up a lot of arms in this game. A short outing for Raven pitching in general. A lot of pitches being thrown, so you have to wonder what the pitching approach is going to be like in game 2, what they're going to want to expect from the starting pitcher.
And as for the Ravens, how to wipe this one off. Now, regardless of the final score, it was a game that got away from them late. And it's just so demoralizing letting one slip away like that when you've been fighting the whole game, and then you have another game to play right after.
Yeah, if you just look at the score at face value, you'd think, wow, the Ravens are never in this game. But they were in it for the majority of it. You know, the whole fell apart in one inning.
Still trailing by 8 here, so a few bloops and a couple blasts should really do it for them. Still a few innings to play, and we know how much the Ravens like to score runs.
Crazier things have happened, Ryan.
Stay tuned, folks. The Ravens offense does know how to score runs. The 1-2 pitch to Hewlett is a breaking ball that's outside of the zone. Gets by Guevara, but no advancement on the base pass. Once again, no reason to force it over at first base is Quiros. And a rare miss by Guevara there.
Yeah, he's been lights out behind the plate. Yeah, that is rare. You'd see that there. But you'd also get the sense that he's up 8 runs, you know.
And he still did, even though he missed the ball, he kept it in front of him. No advancement on the base pass. As that one's taken high, that'll run the count full.
And AIC's trying to hand, or on the way of handing Frank Lapierce only their second loss at home this season. So very impressive performance here against a very strong Ravens team.
Hewlett fouls that one back and out of play.
That's what I find so fascinating about baseball, though, Ryan. I mean, you could be a team as hot as the Ravens and lose a game 12-4, and it's not that out of the ordinary.
Right. And you talked about pregame. The 3-2 pitch is ground over to short. This could be 2 once again. Hesitation on the throw over to second base. Throw to first is not in time, so they get the one out at second, but Ramirez's bobble could not force a double play as Hewlett beats it out at first. You mentioned before the game started the professionalism that goes in to this Ravens lineup and the Ravens team as a whole, and how much they can just go about themselves this late into a season. They started off 10-15, as we mentioned. They're 27-16 now, winning 17 out of their last 18 games. It's a team that knows how to bounce back.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they know they have another game to play right after this, and they're already thinking about ways they can split this double header here, and they're no strangers to adversity, as we mentioned. The season started off with it, so it might be a microcosm for how the whole season ended up. You know, a rough start and then a strong finish. That's what they're looking for this afternoon.
Right, as that one hits Marcano, he'll be sent to first base. So a couple runners will be on here in the bottom of the 7th.
Looked like that barely grazed Marcano there. The umpire actually had to point it out and send him to first base. Now the catcher, Boyd, He's 0 for 3 today. He struck out back in the 4th. He's had a rough go of it this afternoon, not just at the plate, but behind it as well.
Especially in the past 2 plate appearances he's had, he's went up with runners on. So it's been interesting to see that he's had a struggle coming through in those clutch situations. Boyd is a very hard worker. Outside of baseball workouts alone, you're always going to see him in the bubble here at Franklin Pierce University, working out, getting a ton of work in individually. He's a guy that works hard, tirelessly to continue to get better. After Cersei has a mound visit, interesting to see with the 8-run lead, Cersei going to the pitcher's mound, telling Calvinese that, it's okay.
Yeah, he's been walked a batter. He's worked himself into long counts, and then he's just coming off a hit. So just probably telling him, hey, listen, man, it's an 8-run lead. It's the 7th inning. Throw the ball over the plate and trust us behind you,
Definitely. After a couple of ill-advised throws, he had a 4-pitch walk to start this inning to Quiros. And after a fielder's choice on a flyout, he hits Marcano. But he's ahead in the count to Boyd. Like you said, Boyd is 0 for 3. That breaking ball is in there for a called strike. Once Kurt let that go, you saw his head go up. He knew that was a hanger.
Yeah, it was right over the plate there.
Just gave up on it probably a little too early. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch is taken low for ball 1.
The AIC dugout wanted that called strike 3 there.
They definitely did. As they definitely want to get Calvinese in the dugout, try to save some pitches for their bullpen. The 1-2. Breaking ball doesn't break enough as it misses high. That'll even the count at 2.
And Boyd, the only Raven this afternoon to not get on base.
2 on, 2 out. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul. And Boyd will stay in the at-bat.
Good speed on the bases for the Ravens with Hewlett at second.
Hewlett at second. Marcano at first. And a 2-2 count to Boyd. Breaking balls fouled back. Boyd just missed that one. That was up in the zone once again. Calvinese has been unable to really bury that slider, get it low in the zone. That time, Boyd just missed it.
Yeah, he's missing a lot of his pitches. Even when they end up in the strike zone, he's hanging them. So he's struggling with his control here.
The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. He clips Boyd as that one misses high for ball 3.
Yeah, it was up close to his face there, up high. Thankfully, Boyd was able to get out of the way, but it's a full count now, and this is just not what you want to see from a pitcher on your squad when you're up 8 runs.
Runners are set to be in motion. The 3-2 pitch. Driven to the other right field, going back on it and settling under it is Edvardson, and he'll make the play. No runs on a couple of base runners for the Ravens. They trail by 8. We're heading to the top of the 8th here on the Raven Sports Network on the NE10 Now on Flow Couch.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We are back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick here with John McKenna as we're heading into the 8th inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Ravens. Here is Tommy Sullivan on the bump.
Sullivan entering this game with a 9.95 earned run average. Coming into this game, it's already gotten out of hand. Probably looking to just get some work in, throw some pitches, see what he's got to offer. Now, there's a silver lining in games like this. You can get to put in some pitchers that you normally not put in more high leverage situations just to see what they have, how they're throwing, especially younger guys like this. Sullivan, a sophomore here. So he's only pitched 6 innings so far this season. So getting some work in and seeing how he's progressing for the program.
Right, and that whip over 2. So he's been letting runners on base in that little time play. So he's only appeared in 5 games. And he did get a win in one of those appearances, however. That's the only record he has is 1-0. He has 4 strikeouts, and that's 6 and a third innings of work. Like you said, that ERA is 9.95, but he's also walked 5 in those 6.1 innings worked.
Yeah, and that's been a problem for the Ravens pitching staff today specifically. He's looking to avoid that right now. For Coach Chambers, he's hoping this is the last pitcher he's going to have to send to the mound for this first game.
And then he'll have to face Edvardson leading off for the Yellow Jackets. He had into a fielder's choices last time up. So he takes that one inside for ball 1. And I think we mentioned in the same inning, previous inning, we mentioned the same thing, how pitchers with the big lead should just attack the strike zone. I think that should be the same when you're down by this much as well. You have nothing to lose out there. The tying run's not up. The go-ahead run's not on deck. There's nothing to lose out there. Just attack the strike zone and see what happens, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, as a coach, it must be infuriating when you're up or down a sizable amount of runs and your pitcher just keeps walking batters,
right.
Just, attack the strike zone. Let's say Edvardson hits the scoreboard on this next pitch. Now it's 13-4. You know what I mean? It's throwing strikes for both pitchers here should be the priority.
Well, he gets Edvardson to swing and miss at that one, and they'll even the count at 2.
In a doubleheader, what do you think the attitude is for AIC after a performance like this? After winning, right now it's 12-4. Score could change, but after a dominant performance.
Well, this definitely, it gets you going. It's a high-motor offense like the Yellow Jackets. They are going to be pumped about this one if they can hold on to this, if they can spark, if they don't allow any miraculous comeback in these next couple of innings for the Ravens. They definitely will be very excited. They're just going to have to keep that composure, however, at the plate and still work those walks, because as you mentioned, that was the biggest thing that sprung them to this big lead for the Yellow Jackets.
I just think it's so interesting. It's the second game of doubleheader. It's the same day, but it's a completely different game.
Oh, yeah.
And you're still in that mindset of that day.
Right.
It must take some real discipline to understand. It's 0-0.
Yeah.
It's anyone's ball game now.
The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Sullivan tallying his first K against his first batter.
That's big. Just getting outs. It's also sweet when it is something like a strikeout too.
It sets the tone when you come in from the bullpen.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to relief pitching, it's a lot about confidence. These guys have some great stuff, great control and command. But, once you get that leadoff batter on, it just feels so hard to just get past that for a lot of these guys, especially at the collegiate level.
And that's been the Ravens' biggest problem in this game, is allowing that leadoff hitter to reach, especially on the walk.
And it's not even just the Ravens. I mean, O'Leary started this game, and when he didn't allow that leadoff runner on, he was cruising. He was almost dominant. But when he allowed that leadoff runner on against the Ravens, he got into a lot of trouble, especially near the end of his outing into that 5th inning, into that 6th inning. He seemed to get rattled, and that's been that way for a lot of pitchers today.
That's dribbled off the foot of Streeter and be called a foul ball. Sullivan's ahead of the count 1-2. He'll be looking for his first 1-2-3 inning this season.
And Julian Menks has played a great game at third base today. He's just, sometimes I feel like defensively you take guys for granted just because they make every single play they're supposed to make.
But especially at that hot corner,
yeah,
like he has. That one's over to short. Arias to his left, fires over to first in time. 2 gone.
That's big for Sullivan and the Ravens here after that nightmarish 7th inning where it seemed like a merry-go-round of AIC batters on the base paths, just quick 2 outs, try to get through this inning 1, 2, 3. Try to save your arms for the next game, and really just try to close this game out. You're losing this game by 8 runs. Just kind of just move on from it, let the rain wash away, and look, for the second game.
That was bounced to second. Lugo fires on the first in time. So we're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning where the Yellow Jackets lead the Ravens 12-4. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. We're back in Ringe, New Hampshire for college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. You're watching it with Ryan Fitzpatrick and John McKenna giving you the call for Game 1 of this doubleheader against the Ravens of Franklin Pierce University and the Yellow Jackets of American International College. The Yellow Jackets have pulled away late in this game in the 7th where they tallied 7 runs to their name.
Yeah, and big part of that inning, as you mentioned time and time again, was the walks. And Ryan, I'm going to ask you, do you think something like that carries on into the second game? It's something that really got away from you in the first, following you into the second in a doubleheader.
Sadly, I think it does carry a little bit of emotionally. And I don't think it can be dragged out too long either. Don't get me wrong. These are college level hitters. They know that, not only hitters, but the pitching staff as well. They know how to recover from something like that, especially how they started earlier on in the season. But emotionally, especially after this game ends, barring any type of fantastic comeback, and that's important as well here in these final 2 innings. You got to put together some great at-bats and get your team some momentum to go into this second game, because that goes onto the wayside. More than anything, these last 2 innings are so important because you have to get some momentum back. Feel good about something, no matter the score now. Feel good about something heading into the next game.
That's such a good point. I mean, these guys, are going to be the same guys playing in however many minutes after this game's over.
These are both 2 starting lineups right here. Yeah, I agree.
A doubleheader, it's like, it's 2 games, but you get 6 to 9 at bats in a day. So you got to feel good about it. If at the end of this game, you lose the game, but maybe you be single in your last 2 at bats, and you feel good going into the second.
Don't get me wrong. The Ravens have also scored. That one is driven over to shortstop, ground over. Ramirez fires across the diamond in time to retire Arias. 1 gone. And don't get me wrong, the Ravens have scored 4 runs in this game. And that's averagely pretty good for any team. Scoring 4 runs, you were just hoping your pitching staff could follow with the quality performance. Although for the Ravens bullpen, that didn't seem that way. But 4 runs is definitely something that's the mark you want to reach in the game. Obviously, any type of more would be great, trying to back up any pitching staff. As DeAndre swings and misses at that one. He immediately after that swing and miss just signals over to Chambers saying, "That's my bad." Because in a position like this, you can't tie it with 1 swing. He just took a big hack at that one.
Yeah, you still got to, work good at bats,
As he swings and misses at that one as well, and he's behind the count 0-2. It's quality at bats here. That's the important part to the Ravens. Even though DeAndre has had 2 swings that were definitely not his caliber swings, the important thing is look at his 2-strike approach.
Wow.
1, 2, 3 pitches to Nolan DeAndre, and he sits him down on 3 swings.
one thing to look back on, it's going to be forgotten because of the final score of this game, but in that bottom of the 6th inning, so it's still only a 1-run game. That double play that Acker grounded into was a pretty big play at the time. I mean, we didn't know that they would put 7 runs up on the board the very next inning, but you know, Ravens usually very good at situational hitting, but that was one time where they faltered.
The first pitch to Monks is taken in there for a called strike. Monks with more of a passive approach than DeAndre, the previous hitter, who swung and missed at 3 breaking balls. Fastball taken on the low and outside corner for strike 2.
Calvin East struggled to throw strikes in that 7th inning, but now he's just coming out aggressive, more confident, just throwing strikes.
Exactly what you ask for when your team has an 8-run lead. And a great job by O'Leary starting this game for the Yellow Jackets. His first ball is thrown to Julian Monks there.
Yeah, he really hung in there. You know, it was a gutsy performance by him, only giving up 4 runs pitched into the 6th inning. You know, he's going to get credited with the win, and he really pitched through some jams.
Right. And imagine if this game could be a completely different outcome. That one's fouled away. It could be a completely different outcome if the Ravens were able to tie in that inning where they were trailing by 1. It was 5-4, and that double play wasn't a double play, and the Ravens were able to tack on that tying run. I think it's a completely different mindset for the pitching staff that would go out there in that following inning. Completely different mindset for the hitters that came out for the Yellow Jackets in that inning, because then they're like, okay, we have to reclaim this lead instead of the tack-on mindset, as that one's driven up the middle for a base hit for Monks. That'll be Monks' first hit in this ball game. He's 1 for 3. Interesting to see the Yellow Jackets trying to fire on the first. They've done that a few times today where Raven has hit a base hit and they throw to first base.
And every once in a while, you'll see something like that. Someone lackadaisically running over to first base, especially in a game like this. You know, Julian Monks, there's no lack of effort there, so it's not something he would do. But, you know, if you're down 8 runs, you could throw to first. Maybe someone's not running down to first base that fast, and you can get them to tag.
Calvin East behind in the count 1-0. As Acker drives that up the middle, and that'll be back-to-back base hits up the middle. Ravens will continue to play station to station as Monks has no advancement past second base. So 2 on with 2 out now.
And those are 2 really hard hit balls there. Just hit hard right up the middle. And that's what you're talking about before, Ryan. You're just like putting together good at-bats, some solid contact at the end of this game, feeling good going into the second. You know, both these guys are going to go into that second game to the last at-bats, so the first one being good, solid, hard contact.
Well, here comes Michael Quiros with the runner in scoring position here with 2 gone. He grounds that one up the middle. Knocked down by Calvin East. He'll throw on to first in time. So after running into some 2-out trouble, Calvin East gets out of it. They still lead by 8. You're watching college baseball. And it's now on Flow College.
Can you cover the last inning? On camera, yeah.
We are back in Ridge, New Hampshire for college baseball, and NE10 now on Flow College. And the Ravens trailing by 8 as Tommy Sullivan still on the bump for the Ravens.
Sullivan had a really good, solid 8th inning there. 1-2-3 quickly. Had a strikeout in there of Edwardson. So he's just trying to, you know, throw strikes, bring up the bottom of the 9th inning, and just kind of wash away this game so the Ravens can go into the second with a clean slate here. Try to split this doubleheader on Senior Day. And, credit to AIC. I mean, they're coming in playing a Ravens team that's been really good this year down the stretch, especially at home. And they come in and they have a dominant performance here at Papa's Field on Senior Day.
And it all started with this Ravens pitch. I mean, this Yellow Jackets pitching staff so far in this one. They've just been holding them at bay with this Ravens offense being a very prowess team. We saw that one home run earlier on in the game, and that was almost really it. So that one swung on and missed.
The big difference in this game, for me, Ryan, is the crooked number.
Yeah.
Right? The Ravens, you look at their scorecard, 2, 1, 1, unable to really mount in. Then you look at the AIC scorecard, 7. That's the big difference here. The Ravens unable to really put together that one big inning. And that's credit to O'Leary. And he was able, he gave up some runs, but they were not all in one inning. He was able to give them length and just keep the Ravens to 1 or 2 runs per inning.
Sullivan ahead in the count 1-2 to Patterson. That one's grounded behind the back snag, loses it for a second, tosses it to first, not in time! The hustle there by Patterson. His team leads by 8, but for him, he's trailing by 1. Gets on base with the hustle, slides into first safely on the infield single.
Wow, that's crazy, Ryan. I mean, you're up 8 runs in the 9th inning, and you do a head-first slide on an infield single. That's some guts right there.
That's guts, that's effort.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want out of a player that's batting in your 9 hole.
Yeah.
In a game where you're leading by 8. He's going to go as well. The throw to second base will be into center field. And a great job by Lugo in bluffing that he still had the ball. So it'll be a stolen base with an 8-run lead. You have to wonder what the deal was there. Looks like the hustle bug is not leaving these Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, the same way we were just talking about how the Ravens know they have a second game to play. Right. AIC, they're carrying on the energy. They have another game to play. Right. They're still hyped up. They got 9 more innings, and in their head, they have 9 more innings to dominate.
Oh, that one misses outside. Counts 1-1 now. So the leadoff hitter in Ramirez. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, missed, strike 2.
A big hack there from Ramirez.
Raindrops starting to fall here at Papa's Field. This cold spring afternoon continues. The 1-2 pitch is taken outside. Good take there by Ramirez.
Sullivan, hasn't really given up any hard contact here. That one hit from Patterson just up the middle, and he tried to go for the behind the back snag with his glove, unable to fully grasp it. And then Patterson able to hustle that out.
Struck him out. Sullivan freezes Ramirez with the backwards K.
It caught him looking there on the inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Ramirez for the first out. Nice pitch.
That'll be his second strikeout in this one. But he'll be facing Josh Frometta, who's had a heck of a game to this point so far.
No, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's got 2 hits, a walk, multiple runs scored. It's a solid day for the AIC third baseman.
That one's popped up into the air. Monks will settle under it around the third base position. He'll make the grab. 2 gone.
Patterson was really pumped up there when he had a head first slide into first, and then he stole second immediately. And that's something that the Ravens are going to have to clean up going into the second game is AIC running at will when they're on the base pads, Ryan.
Even though Sullivan made a nice play in getting the ball, staying in front of him with the behind the back snag attempt, but he kind of just strutted out. He figured out, okay, the ball's still in front of me. The runner's going first. I have all the time in the world. He picked it up and underhand tossed it to first base. I think if he had an overhand throw, he was beating Patterson.
Yeah, kind of lackadaisical off the mound there, right? I mean, kind of saw the ball. He probably didn't expect Patterson to be.
Right.
He came out of the box like a cannon. Like he came out of a cannon, and probably didn't expect that head first slide. So.
But he also probably didn't expect to make contact with the ball with his glove.
True. Yeah, that's something I didn't even think about. Yeah, he probably didn't think he'd snag that ball.
That was drilled foul, heading towards the parking lot. Look out, cars.
Hey, hopefully he didn't park there.
I mean, don't see a lot of balls hit cars, as you mentioned earlier in this game, going down the road.
Yeah, I was surprised, yeah.
The only time we see cars run into some trouble is over in left field in the Sodexo parking lot.
And I can't imagine why you'd want to park there when there's a baseball game. I mean,
unless you're sitting in the back of a trunk.
Yeah. If you're watching from out there, then yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But leaving your car there is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, we're taught. 2 outs here. The 2-1 is taken in there for a called strike. Good breaking ball there by Sullivan. And when we were playing football, we were kind of learned to not park. Anytime even the baseball team's having a practice, they're hitting BP.
Yeah.
Do not park on that right there because they do hit the ball over that wall. And there's been cars that have paid the dividends for that.
Yeah, I mean, even batting practice is probably worse, right? Because they're probably hitting over the fence a lot more than they are in a regular game. So.
Mm-hmm. And there's a sign over there towards our left of the parking lot. There's a sign that says "Park at your own cost."
They let you know.
Or I think it actually says "Watch out for baseballs." So that one's drilled foul into the Ravens bullpen.
Guevara really hitting the ball hard this at bat. It's the second time he's absolutely drilled the ball foul, and he's got some power. We saw it that opposite field home run way early on in this game, and he's just one of the premier catchers, in D2 baseball.
The 2-2 struck him out. Tommy Sullivan coming into the game and limiting the damage, getting the Ravens to get back into the dugout. Each time he's been out there. Ravens still trail by 8. You're watching college baseball on NE10 now on Flow College. Streak will be coming to an end. They've won 9 straight, so maybe their second loss in 19 games.
Yeah. So
just a little hiccup in the season, but what's more impressive as Keo Lugo steps in to lead off for the Ravens here at the bottom of the ninth. What's been really impressive for the Yellow Jackets, they have a 15-9 overall record. Yes, that's not really where you want it at this point of the season, but they're 9-8 in conference. So with the win right here, that'll be 10-8, 2 games over 500 in conference, and they'll actually, as Lugo will get hit by a pitch there on the elbow guard. And a win right here for the Yellow Jackets, it would be their 3rd straight win, which would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier they're on this crazy road stretch here.
Yeah, that's also as Shane Hewitt will step in after the hit by a pitch. The Yellow Jackets have not had a home series since March 29th. They've had 1 home game against Bentley on April 16th, but that whole series, they're away for that whole weekend. The April 13th doubleheader they spent at Bentley University, April 13th, and then 3 days later, they played one final game in that series where they lost at home, April 16th, and they have not been played at home since. As Hewlett flies that one out to right center field. Moving over is Everson. He'll make the grab. One gone, and Lugo will retreat back to first base. So they have not had a home series since March 29th.
Yeah.
The Yellow Jackets are 7-13 away. So it's been a long road stretch for them this year, really, because this whole second half of the year has been on the road. 7-13. This will be their third straight game on the road, and if they barring any late comeback, this will be their third straight win.
Yeah, it's just really impressive, and they're not doing it against just anybody. They're doing it against a team that's dominant on the road, at home, and they're doing it against a team that's just dominant in conference in general. Have been for the second half of the season. So extremely impressive, and the bats are the story for this team, Ryan. I mean, just so many players who could hurt you in so many ways up at the plate, whether it be Guevara, whether it be Ramirez, whether it be anyone really. From 1 through 9, they're just a complete team. And the number 9 hitter was able to Patterson just a head-first slide and then stealing second base. I mean, just 1 through 9, all these guys can hurt you. And one thing we've seen is you cannot give them just free passes. You can't give them free passes, and you can't let them advance on the base paths without stealing a base. Wild pitches, pass balls, they will hurt you, if you give them any free outs. So, that's, good teams find a way to win and bad teams find a way to lose. When you give a good team wild pitches, pass balls, and walks, they'll hurt you.
Especially offenses like the Yellow Jackets, where it's one of the best by far in the league. As Marcano will take that breaking ball inside for ball 2. Great take there. But yes, this lineup is not a lineup where you want to shoot yourself in the foot against at all. We mentioned that throughout the game, and they did a great job. And something else to mention here, this 2-2 count, as Marcano fouled that one back. Something else to mention is that slide into first base by Patterson, that was such a tone setter late in this game going into game 2.
Kind of shocked everyone.
That's something that, okay, they're coming to play still. They're leading. They're not going to lay down and just let this game ride out. They're going to continue playing hard. So going into game 2, something to look forward to is these Yellow Jackets continuing that hot streak.
And then not only did he slide head first for that infield, then he stole second right after that. I mean, that again, it's just like he was reiterating, we're here to play, and we're going to try to beat you 12-4 again in the second game. And the Ravens, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond if they come back with any more swagger or attitude.
Well, Marcano lifts that one to shortstop. I'm going to stay within the infield. Ramirez makes the grab, and the Ravens are down to their final out.
Now batting, the catcher, number 35.
Kurt Boyd coming into this one.
He's 0 for 4 with the strikeout. So he's had a rough go of it. I mentioned it earlier, behind the plate and offensively. And he's the last chance as of right now for the Ravens.
And last at bat, he's got the strongest contact he's had all day, flying out to right field. Runner goes. That one's driven to right field for a base hit. Lugo will easily go first to third after being in motion on the pitch. And runners at the corners with 2 away.
And that's big for Boyd. He's had a rough game, but we mentioned it before, being able to end off on a good note, right? Get hard solid contact, got a base hit. I'm sure he might see some action in the second game, so it's really big for him.
Right. You don't know with the catcher position in particular.
Yeah.
You don't know how much time, especially 2 games. One of them are a 9-inning game. The next inning game is 7 innings, just to let everyone know. You don't know if the catcher will be starting for both back-to-back games because it's a tough position to be in a crouch for that amount of time. But he has definitely sparked some momentum having that good at-bat there.
Now Arias into the box. He's 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 singles. So he's had himself a really nice day today, Ryan.
Oh yeah, especially that's big for someone like Arias. He had one of the lower batting averages on the Ravens lineup so far this season, and to just come through in a game it's been a tough fight for them. That's been big for them, and getting on base consistently, having someone on base, possibly get around to score. That was driven to center field. That'll be his 3rd knock of the ball game. Lugo's in to score. Boyd will stay at second. It's a 2-out RBI single, and the Ravens scratch another one across.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 7.
That's the first run the Ravens have scored. This is all the way back in the 5th.
2 on and 2 out. Nolan DeAndre will step in for the Ravens.
DeAndre had a really rough at bat back in the 8th inning, right? Striking out on 3 pitches and some 3 really ugly swings, swinging that stuff way outside the zone.
That just felt like when the Ravens were at their worst in this ball game. That was right after they suffered that big deficit, and DeAndre just swung at 3 breaking balls. Let's see if Sullivan, or Calvinese, goes back to those breaking balls as he does right there for the first pitch. But this time, a better approach by DeAndre, not swinging at that one.
Yeah, it might be some frustration there, you know, after giving up 7 runs in an inning and game really cutting away from you there, and you step up at the plate.
DeAndre swings at that one. You can kiss it goodbye. Home run. Nolan DeAndre with his 2nd home run in this ball game. Gets the game within 4.
There was no doubt about that one. Ryan just powered that one in the left field, and he's had himself a really good day at the plate.
So Nolan DeAndre making his presence known for sure in this ball game. That's his 6th RBI out of the 8 runs the Ravens have scored. He's been a huge piece of this offense. 8 runs in the ball game. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Julian Monks pops that one up over to right field. Coming in on it is Edvardson, makes the grab, and that will be the end of the ball game. So some late life by the Ravens, but it's too short to come back from, as the Ravens suffered their first loss in 10 games as they lose 12-8 to the Yellow Jackets here in Game 1. And what you see out of the Ravens in that game that really went wrong, but really so far sparking some momentum in going into the second game.
Yeah, it's really big they were able to score those 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning there. Just to feel good going into the second game. But the big problem today was just the pitching, and it goes all the way back to the starter, Pavia. You know, he's been a solid pitcher for the Ravens, just unable to locate very well early on in this game and unable to give them length, and that just snowballed into a problem of a lot of Ravens pitching, unable to really find the zone. A lot of walks in that 7th inning. I think it was 4 walks, hit by pitch. There's a lot of hit by pitches too.
Yes.
So that's the control in the pitching is what really set the Ravens on a downward trajectory in this game. Yeah, they hit the ball, you know, especially early on in the game. It was 5-4. You really don't know what would happen after that's, if that 7-run inning didn't happen. But the Ravens had a really good chance to win this ball game up until that point. The bats looked pretty solid. Nolan DeAndre looked great today. Arias had 3 knocks. You had some guys in the lineup that were hitting the ball. Just the pitching was really hurt them, and that's going to be something that's going to follow them into that second game. A lot of bullpen arms being used. So whoever's going to start this second game, they're helped out by the fact it's only 7 innings. That's a big thing. But they're going to look at who's starting the second game, and they're going to look for some length. You know what I mean? So that's something that they're going to have to deal with, the consequence of this game. But overall, credit to AIC. I mean, they came in struggling on the road, not having many home games, as you mentioned. They're coming in playing a team that's fantastic at home, handing them their 2nd loss of the year at home on senior day. So credit to AIC. They came in with some swagger. They came in with some attitude. Credit to O'Leary. I mean, he was solid. He came in. He wasn't spectacular, but he was really gutsy. He came in there. He pitched the innings they needed him to pitch. He got the outs they needed him to get. And their bullpen was fantastic too. Credit to Calvinese. He came in and just didn't, up until that 9th inning where he was probably just throwing strikes to throw strikes. Overall, he was great too. So a really good win for AIC. A rough loss for Franklin Pierce, but they're still looking to play a competitive game in the second game of this doubleheader.
Well, John, it was a pleasure working with you over these past couple of years that we've had a pleasure to, as I'll be graduating the last time in the booth together. But the Ravens suffer a loss here, 12-8, and from John McKenna and Ryan Fitzpatrick. We'd like to thank you guys so much for joining us here in Game 1. Game 2 underway shortly, 12-8 AIC. We'll be right back here in a few short moments for Game 2.
Thanks, man.
It's a shame we only got 2 games together. Dude, it's like you say stuff that I'm thinking about. You're always like, when I'm thinking about what to say next, and then you say it, I'm like, wow,
you do the same thing.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
It really was a pleasure.